afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you for a little bit. I'm with you for a little bit. Again, I saw some of the people chime in earlier. I know I saw Jerica. I saw, my girl from Reading. I just saw the name. I saw some of y'all say hi earlier, but then something happened again with my screen here. So if I don't say your name, then shoot it back in. Erica from Reading. I saw Erica on there. I saw Ron. What's up, Ron? Jerica, Erica. Lewis Talbot in the house. Lewis representing Sharonville. We got Brenda in the house representing Fairfield. Myosha in the house. Good afternoon. Oh, hold on. I forgot I had this in. Of course, then I'll be listening to Wyatt on the way home. And then I'd run down here and forgot to take my AirPod out. Myosha in the house. Good afternoon. We got David in the house. Good afternoon, David. David representing Westchester. Tria in the house. Tria says afternoon, King and crew. Representing Columbia Township. Good afternoon. We got Scott in the house. Representing West Walnut Hills. Good afternoon. Seabreeze in the house. Representing Boston. Good afternoon, Seabreeze. David in the house. David. Good afternoon, David. Miss Pittsburgh in the house. I ain't seen you in a minute, Miss Pittsburgh. Thanks for coming back and giving us another try. I don't know if anything's changed. Definitely ain't got no better. But we appreciate you being here. Seabreeze says mostly listening, not chatting today. It's not gonna be much to chat about. Like if y'all don't chat, it ain't no show. Andrea in the house. Good afternoon, Andrea, representing downtown. Let me see. Diane representing Gulf Manor. Good afternoon. Regina Denson Griffin representing Claremont County today. You can't beat that. Good afternoon. We got Drea in the house representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Janice. Good afternoon, Janice. She says the DNC is on fire. Preston in the house. He's representing Avondale. He says he is present. David says, quick little baby update before you begin. She's back. She want me to sew something. Her mama told her that I sew. I've sewn, but I don't sew. But she got some little stuffed animal at the back of it, I guess, split open or something. And so she wants me to sew that for her. I'll do it. Because why not? But I don't like the idea that she perceives me as a sewer. But other than that, what she's supposed to be coming, I still haven't seen her. She's supposed to be coming over. I just been working. So every time something come up, I might just run over there and throw her around a little bit. That's the update. I think I want to take her up to Kings Island, though. You know, she's never ridden a roller coaster. And it's my job to put her on a roller coaster. I remember when my daughter was a little girl. And, you know, we took them out to Stricker's Grove. And she refused to get on the roller coaster. I'm like, no, come on, it'll be fun. Get on the roller coaster. She refused to get on the roller coaster. Eventually, I said, you riding this roller coaster. You only got to ride it once. But you riding this roller coaster. She was crying. And I don't want to ride the roller coaster. I don't want to ride. Ooh, I'm scared. You riding this roller coaster. I don't care what you say. Put her on the roller coaster. She's a roller coaster head now. She's a roller coaster head. Like that, at some point during the summer, her and her friends went on a little trip, and I believe they visited multiple theme parks to ride roller coasters. And she reminded me of that story. She texted me from wherever she was. She texted me and, mentioned, I remember when I was little, when I was crying and I didn't want to get on the roller coaster and you made me get on the roller coaster. I love roller coasters now. And of course, I asked her, like, what about the little baby? You put her on a roller coaster? No, that's your job. What? How'd that become my job? But I'll do it. So I want to get her, not this weekend because I'm busy this weekend. So maybe next weekend, get her on up to Kings Island, put her on a roller coaster. Put her on a roller coaster. That was my plan for the summer before I knew she was going away. My plan for the summer was to get us some season passes and just, hit Kings Island. I pick her up from school, and instead of doing the show, or pick her up from, I guess technically it wasn't school at that point, but she would have still, had she stayed here, she would have still gone to there, because they also just keep kids over the summer, kind of a daycare type thing. So I'd have picked her up from school, and instead of doing the show, we'd have just ran up to Kings Island a number of times. And of course, like every weekend, that would have been what we would have done. Had a ball. But she went away. She had a ball. So that's the update. That's the little baby update. Daryl says, the zoo is half price this weekend. I can't take her this weekend. It's not next weekend. Y'all know she's been hounding me for about 2 years to take her to the zoo. We went for Festival of Lights, but she just wanted to go see the animals. So I had to get her up there too. But that's the little baby update. Hold on, let me see. Now, where was I? You made me. All right, that was David. DeWanda in the house. Good afternoon, DeWanda. We got Logic Slayer in the house. Logic Slayer says, good afternoon, King and Kingdom. All right. Vincent says, what's up from Landon? What's up, Vincent? Appreciate you checking out the show. Ron Tucker in the house. What's up? Got Nat Turner representing Madville. Good afternoon. Ron's laughing about something. I don't know what was funny. Steban in the house representing Westwood. We got Lewis Johnson, a.k.a. CK. Marlon Wayans versus DJ Vlad. Your thoughts? I was not even aware this is the thing. Versus him in what form? I don't follow DJ Vlad. I don't watch his stuff. So you tell me. I don't know. I used to watch his stuff. And then I heard some not so good things about him. So I kind of stopped watching his stuff. So a Bianca Belair ring attire and break out your gorgeous Rick Rose trunks. I don't know what that means either. Dwayne in the house representing Mount Airy. Daryl in the house. Say, what family checking in from the hustle? Okay. Diane says Kings Island and a funnel cake. All right. She's still too small for roller coasters. No, she's not. Really, there's no such thing as too small for roller coasters. Especially in the little kid. I still think of it as Hanna-Barbera Land, but I know it's not Hanna-Barbera Land no more. But they got roller coasters designed for kids. So what are you talking about? Stop it. Stop it. Moesha. Maria in the house representing North College Hill. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I was really kind of thinking, I was going to say something else about you being rich, but I don't want to hammer that too much. So the only thing I could really think of to throw a shot at you was to jack up your name and call you Moesha. But Maria, representing North College Hill, good afternoon. Daryl says, we was just at Stricker's Grove this past weekend. I always like Stricker's Grove for little kids. It's a good place to go for little kids. Those little kids that are, quote, too small for roller coasters. It's a great place for them. Ron says, you should go over there and show her what a sewer you are. Sewer. To sew. Needle and thread. S-E-W. DeAndre says, crying. It's a word. It's a word. You sow seeds all over the place. Real talk. All right. Pamela Kinney in the house representing North Avondale. David says he appreciates the little baby update. All right. Nat says he'll be at the zoo Friday. All right. Jerica says, okay, I'm back. I missed the little baby update. You didn't miss much. She's not here. Jack says Jack is here. All right. Well, I guess you can't beat that. Thank you for checking out the show. Darren in the house representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. We got Crystal in the house representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Daryl says, my son rides the roller coaster in Kittyland at Kings Island. It's a beautiful thing. Man, you get in there and you sit next to him, you be all crunched up because it's a tiny little roller coaster. And you sit next to him and you see, especially that first time, the fear on their face. And then you hold their hands up and they don't want to. And they don't like it, but then they start to enjoy it. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Tanika in the house representing Orlando. Moesha over here lying. Ibadathia. What's up? Good afternoon. Daryl says, that's the first time I've been at Stricker's Grove. I didn't know nothing about Stricker's Grove growing up. When I lived in Hamilton and I coached for Hamilton Little Blue, every year they take their kids, their end of the season thing. They take them to Stricker's Grove. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a picnic area or something like that. And then we went and I was like, I kind of like this. I kind of like these little rusty rides, It was cool. They wasn't rusty. It's a very pared down, and it's like for kids. But I didn't know nothing about it growing up. Shahara says, good afternoon. Happy hump day. She's representing Mason today. Pat Rogers, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Darren Everett says, it used to be called Americana. No. Stricker's Grove is not Americana. It's a totally different place in a totally different area. I loved Americana. Well, I liked Americana. I loved it. But I liked Americana. But no, Stricker's Grove was not used to be Americana. Daryl says, it's a nice little amusement park. Yeah, it is. For the little kids. If you got like teenagers, Kings Island. If you got little kids, Stricker's Grove is a nice little place. They're not open all the time, and I don't know when they open and how they do all of that. You got to call them and look it up and all of that kind of stuff. I don't know anything about that, but it was a nice little place to take the kids. All right. Enough of that. I said hi to everybody. If I didn't say hello to you and you said hello early on, I apologize. But hello to everyone. Preston says, never heard of it until I joined the local back in 2007. Union Picnic was held there every year. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it. And I wish I had have. They had a story about Stricker's Grove on the news, and my husband said, you never see any black folks there. He even rewound the story to check for black folks. Well, I'm telling you, it was some black folks there, but a lot of us don't know anything about it. Because it's out in is it, I don't even think it's technically in Hamilton, or is it in Ross? It's a little out there. And I don't know that it was for us. But we can go wherever the hell we want to go. And that says Americana was the broke Kings Island. I don't know. Initially, they was, at least in my mind, but I was a little kid, they was like neck and neck. We went to Americana with the school, but because my daddy worked at GE, we went to Kings Island. We went to Kings Island on GE Day. So they were different experiences. One, I was with the family. Kings Island, it was always in my mind the family spot. And Americana was the place that you go with your school friends. Because we went there and we kind of hung out and acted fools. Ibadathia says it's above Middletown. I could probably drive there. I don't really remember where. Even though I've been a number of times, I don't think it's out near Middle. I'm not sure. Stricker's Grove only open to the public 2 days a year. Other days are private events, and black people were there when I was there. It was a private event I went to, a union event, and it is out in Ross. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought it was just out there in Ross. And yeah, they're very rarely, but he said 2 days a year. I believe that. And every event that I went there was a private event. And I don't think, just based on, I don't think it's actually an expensive place to go. Not that I'm trying to, hype up Stricker's Grove or anything. Like, they don't advertise. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's something different. Something different. Somebody should call and find out how much it costs to reserve a day. Like, we could take it over. You know what I'm saying? Like, do, be family reunions. Every weekend, it's a family reunion. Just black people. Ends up there. Like, yo, what's up? Daryl says they're open to the public this upcoming Labor Day. All right, I have to remember that. Maybe I'll take the little baby out there if I haven't gotten her to Kings Island. And Bonita was there on Sunday. All right, a number of y'all know about it. Jeffrey in the house, good afternoon. All right, enough of that. Democratic convention going on in full swing and exciting. Now, y'all know I watched the Republican convention. I watched a lot of the Republican convention. I didn't just sit and watch the Republican convention, but I watched a lot of the Republican convention. And, they were kind of hyped, but nowhere near as excited as the excitement that's going on at the Democratic convention. Nowhere near. So, and of course, last night, I didn't actually watch, what's his name? The first gentleman. I can't remember his name. I didn't actually watch his speech. And I was late watching Michelle and Barack's speech. The former president, Barack Obama, and his wife, former First Lady, Michelle Obama. I was late watching their speech. I was watching something else. And then I turned and Barack had started speaking, so I had to rewind. Because I got this newfangled thing called, what they call it? TiVo? In case you don't know, that was me taking a shot at Donald Trump because he was talking about TiVo as if it were brand new. He was talking about TiVo as if it was something that they just came up with at one of his rallies. So I'm picking fun with Donald Trump. But so, yeah, I had to rewind and watch Michelle and then Barack. Nat says, who had the best speech? I think Michelle had the most exciting speech with the best, zingers and all that kind of stuff. She had the most exciting speech. The better of the two, was, I don't know if I would say better. It was different. Barack Obama basically trying to get people, which is, it's crazy that you have to do this. But basically he was trying to get people to allow people to be who they are. And to understand and meet people where they are. And then we all move forward together. And he believes that the Democratic vision for America is better than the other vision for America, which is technically not. See, and this is the thing. What's happening over at the so-called Republican Party, that's not actually the Republican Party. It is not the Republican Party. What's happening over there is, like Barack Obama mentioned, and clearly a lot of people have mentioned, it's a cult of personality. What's happening over there is all about Donald Trump. And if I think I said this at some point, if Joe Biden had been running against John McCain, I would have had a hard choice to make. Because while I didn't agree, of course, with everything John McCain kind of said and stood for, he seemed like a reasonable dude. He was a Republican. Mitt Romney even, he was a Republican. I don't agree with all of the stuff that they say, but I'm not against Republicans. And I think this is kind of a part of what Barack Obama was saying. Like, right now, you've got this cult of personality. They follow Donald Trump. They've abandoned even their principles. You know, they supposed to be about small government, fiscal responsibility, social conservatism, stuff like that. They're not about any of that stuff. They're not about any of that stuff anymore. Donald Trump came in and they're about whatever Donald Trump says, whatever Donald Trump wants. And so I liked Barack Obama's speech because a portion of the speech was very much about, look, there are good Republicans. There are good Republicans. And there are good people who haven't really made a decision. We can't buy into the whole idea of us against them and them against us. So I don't know. I liked it. But look, I'm going to tell you right now. You can tell how good the Democratic convention is by what I don't even really know how to classify people sometimes. I want to say conservatives, but that's not fair because I'm a conservative, right? I want to say Republicans, but they say they're not Republicans. I want to say independents, but they're clearly not independents. What the people who claim to be conservatives and independents and don't have a dog in the fight but want you to vote for Donald Trump, you can tell how good the Democratic convention, how powerful it is by what they're talking about today. You know what they're talking about. Everybody say it with me. And you know you got to scream it when you say it. Immigrants. I've watched a lot of the coverage on Fox News. I've seen some coverage on OAN and on what that other conservative network. I can't think of what it is. And I've watched not a lot, but I've watched a few of the online commentators who I watch. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got what's the chick? Tommy Lauren, and, you know, all of these people. I didn't watch her today. But I'm just saying I watch a lot of these conservative people. And everybody is really focusing on immigrants today. They're really focused on immigrants today. And I told y'all earlier, when you're not winning, you want to stir up that fear in everybody. Newsmax, thank you, Axe Black, your network, Newsmax. When you're not winning and you want to stir up that fear, immigrants. What did the immigrants do today? Well, they didn't do nothing. But if we can talk about immigrants to get people to not talk about Barack Obama and Michelle Obama and the first gentleman, who again, his name, I can't remember. Immigrants. Because they make some good points. Like the truth of the matter is, the Democrats are making some great points. Hold on, I see Preston. What did Preston say? Hold on, Preston. Just saw an interesting statement about how the left is in control of the country and have been in the White House for almost 2 decades, except for 4 years. Why is the nation in the mess we're in? Because here's the weird thing that happens. And this is just my take on it. Again, You can lay it out. When Clinton took over from George Bush, things wasn't great. Clinton, of course, got us a surplus and, some other things. Then George W. Bush took it over from him. Remember the crater analogy? Skyscraper fell down. Now it's a crater. So Barack Obama then has to start building the skyscraper back up. It takes a long time. Going with the skyscraper analogy. It takes a long time to build the skyscraper. And if you keep the policies the same, you can keep building and keep building. It don't take very long to tear it down. You ever seen an implosion? Like, it took them 2.5 years to build that building. They plant some explosives. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, building is gone. Like that. So those 4 years here and 8 years there and all of that kind of stuff, that takes a toll. So it's not like you can just look at it and be like, oh, the Democrats was in the White House, but why is we in this position? First, what position do you perceive that we're in? You're afraid of, as some of my Trumpites, I don't know what to call them, Trumpians, whatever, will tell you that we're in the midst of an invasion and a totally out of control immigrant crime wave epidemic. They like to use the big colorful words to paint the picture. Immigrants are invading our country, and they're creating this immigrant crime epidemic. Is that what you're seeing? Is that what you're perceiving is going on with the country? The nation being in the mess that we're in? Because if you're even talking about the economy. Like, come on, y'all, let's be real. Look at the economy around the world. Inflation ain't just happening here in America. It's happening around the world. But of the major countries around the world experiencing inflation, you know who has the lowest? We do. We do. So you blame, it's Joe Biden and, of course, Kamala Harris's fault that we have inflation when the whole world is experiencing inflation? So do they get the credit for keeping ours or having ours lower than everybody else's? Who gets the credit? The whole neighborhood is engulfed in smoke. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris put air filters in all the windows. We still got some smoke in the house, but less smoke than anybody else got in their house. It's your fault we got smoke. Everybody got smoke. It's smoky as hell outside. Everybody got smoke in their house. See how much smoke is out there? But you see them filters on the windows? Less smoke is getting in here than anybody else's house. Yeah, but it's still smoke. Don't they get credit for the filters? Like, oh, y'all was smart enough to put filters in. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So I'm really pressed, and I want to know, what mess do you perceive that we're in that is the fault of the former Democratic presidents? I want to know. Blade says block, block, block. I'm not blocking anything. I'm just telling you the truth. If the truth sounds like blocking, so be it. So be it. But man, they got nothing today. They got nothing. Why do you go into your Jasper voice when you emulate black dialect? I don't know what that means, a Jasper voice. I don't know what that means. And usually when I like to think I'm not necessarily just talking about black people. I think I'm talking about a lot of times kind of ignorant black people. So I have an ignorant black people voice. I can't do it right now. It's not something I can do on demand. But I have an ignorant black people voice. But that's not all black people. Wait a minute, somebody calling. Oh, get to the phones. CK.
Hey, Livingston, how you doing, brother?
CK, I'm doing good. How are you?
Man, thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for calling.
I'm surprised. But, hey, man, so you said you ain't heard nothing about the Marlon Wayans versus DJ Vlad?
I haven't.
Let me catch you up to date.
Oh.
Okay, you remember you said you used to watch him, but then you caught on to that flummery he was coming with, right?
I don't even remember, like, that's how bad it is. I don't even remember exactly what was said and who said it, but I remember it was so compelling. Now, what's the comedian who be Godfrey?
Yes, sir.
Who used to rock with him, but then
Yes,
he came out and he was like, I don't rock with him no more, and he said why, and he gave, as people are now calling them, receipts. And I was like,
Honorable Louis Farrakhan.
I didn't know that.
It was Farrakhan, Livingston. It was Farrakhan.
Well, it wasn't Farrakhan who gave the receipts and came out against him, but it was.
No, it was he lost Godfrey because of Farrakhan.
Okay.
Godfrey and Lloyd, he lost a few guests
Okay.
because he lied on the man name. He said let's throw the rocks at Jewish people, and what he actually said was let's throw the rock of truth. You know, so he just lied on what he said. He said the rock of truth.
But what's up with since you want to tell us him and Marlon Wayans?
Yes, sir. Oh, so DJ Vlad reached out to do an interview to have him on this platform, and he got to his people, and his people gave him a number. He said, I need $40K plus 30% of future revenue earnings. That's what his people told Vlad. Vlad has Ari Spears on his platform and spills the beans and tells this to Aries, which gets Marlon to respond. And Marlon said, this is very unprofessional, Vlad. So he go on to say how Marlon not worth it. He's not Cat Williams. It got into that. So Marlon letting them have it. But he's exposing Vlad for the vulture he is. See what I mean?
Okay.
He's trying to, you see what I mean? He's trying to hit him for, he's saying, oh, you're not worth $40K. It's Marlon Wayans, Livingston. He's worth whatever he says he's worth.
Well, that's anybody.
Right.
Yeah. But look,
So-
I don't get it. If I attempted to get a guest on the show, first, I'm not paying nobody to come on. I'm not paying anybody.
Exactly.
I don't know who these people are, who, that's what they do. But I'm not paying anybody to come on this show. Maybe that's why I don't have anyone on the show. But I'm not paying anybody to come on the show. So I don't even understand the idea of, hey, will you come and do my show? Yeah, if you pay me so much money and then you give me a percentage of any money that you make afterwards, I'm going to be like, no, thank you. So.
And let's tell the truth about that. You lose your journalistic integrity by paying your guest.
But I don't think that think that Vlad even fancies himself a journalist, does he?
Right. You're right. Yeah, you make a great point. You make a great point. But I'm saying, if I'm paying you, Emmanuel, it's different for me. Just like you said, if you invite me as a guest to be on your platform, that's different than paying me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think you're gonna get different information. I think while you paying me, I'm liable to agree with you. Just
Actually,
prove
I,
your point.
I don't know if I view it that way. If I pay you to come on,
Okay.
I'm liable to say anything, do anything, and I have certain expectations of you. So, I don't know that I would treat anybody with a lack of respect. But if I'm paying you to come on, you can't tell me I don't want to talk about this and I don't want to talk about this. Damn that. I'm paying you. You talking about whatever I want you to talk about because I'm paying you to be here. So
I
I don't
like that.
know. It creates a different thing.
Right. But the thing is, you got to understand the situation is Marlon. You stepping into the big leagues with Marlon. You
Are you
don't have
really?
people
Hold
on.
on. Hold on.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
thought I heard you talking about this a little bit with Wyatt. And you seem to think that Marlon Wayans is like some huge deal.
Okay, I see what you're saying. To the broad spectrum, I see what you're saying. But I'm saying he's a huge deal to your platform, Mr. Vlad, and the story of that realm.
Is he?
Yeah, to the
Is he?
world. Okay, compare him to his guests. Who he got?
I don't
Who
know
you
who
got?
he
You can't
got, but
name one.
I don't know who he got, but I've never
He
seen.
got T.K. Kirkland. He got Earthquake. He
But
got Tony Rock. He
hold on.
ain't got Chris Rock.
Here's what I'm saying. I've never seen a thumbnail with the title Marlon Wayans interview and was like, ooh, I got to watch that. Like
Yeah,
ever.
he's not. Okay, that's the thing, sir. That's why they having a thing. You're jumping into his world. You asked him for an interview, sir. He didn't come to you. So by you coming to him, he hitting you with the Hollywood shit. Oh, I'm gonna hit you like it's a movie then, because you ain't showing your face. I'm
I'm
doing the
not
interview.
against in the way that you explained it. I'm not against either one of them, and I don't see how it's a battle of any sorts. Somebody invited somebody to be on their show. They said, "I'll do it for a fee," and they said, "Well, I'm not paying that fee," so they didn't go on the show. That don't sound like a battle to me.
The whole shit is the battle. The beef shit is you taking it public. That's when you throwing. What are you bringing this public for? Now you got a whole raft.
Well, why
Now
not?
Marlon
I
done
don't.
went in on it.
Again, I don't understand that either. I offered CK to do this. CK said no, and then I come on the show and I say, you know what? I offered CK to do this, and he said no. I don't understand why that's beef. It's the truth. Why is the truth beef with people?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That I offer him. No, I offered CK to cut my grass. This fool tried to charge me $5,000.
What would be wrong with me saying that?
Right now, if I'm the grass whisperer now, you know what I mean? You going to get the grass cutter that's on TV.
I'm not
You think you
understanding
gonna-
what we're talking about.
I'm trying to tell you, sir, listen. The problem with the situation is the people you had on your platform, them the people that's trying to promote stuff. You're trying to go get someone, so now they're going to give you their price. You being a Jewish person that you is racist, you're going to try to humiliate him and downplay him. Now you're taking away everything he did. That's where the whole shit, the big shit I'm talking about.
Okay.
See what I mean?
No, but if you say
What
so,
you don't what?
then all right. I don't even understand what the conversation is. Like, what conversation are we having? Are you having a conversation to make the argument that Marlon Wayans is some huge superstar? Are you having the conversation to make the conversation about whether or not hosts should pay their guests? Is the conversation about whether or not people should tell the truth about people? What conversation are you even trying to have? I don't understand what we're talking about.
No, we're talking about black people
Black.
bringing their wealth
Well,
to a platform. We're talking about a Jewish guy trying to exploit black people and finally standing up to the culture vulture and exposing him to the people.
All
for
right.
spreading, for turning people against people like Taraji P. Henson. He keep talking shit about her, about why she just don't start her own movies, why she complain about how much money he got. So he starts these interviews. So now you got a real big wig in in there to say, okay, if you want me on your platform, buddy, with your Tupac questions, I was his buddy. You give me 40K, 30% future revenue.
Okay.
hmm That's all I'm trying to let you know about the.
All right. Well, thank you for letting me know that.
Yeah, you gotta check it out, man. You need to watch it. You need to watch it.
Apparently, the interview didn't happen, so there's nothing to watch.
No, the Aries Spears Marlin.
Oh, okay.
That's the interview where they talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
man, I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell. I'm like, well, I see what you mean, though.
all right. Did you watch any of the convention?
Yep.
What you think?
I was. I'm confident now. I watched it yesterday.
Some exciting stuff going on there.
I like it. I mean, it looked like we getting a lot of momentum. The blue side, the blue. When I say we, I'm talking about the blue. It looked like the blue is getting a lot of momentum, and it looked like we might take home the trophy in November. You know what I mean? Because she's a breath of fresh air to these voters. Because I think Biden had him on the fence. Biden had him on the fence, Livingston. This Mrs. President, Vice President Harris, she has people excited and ready to rush for the polls. And and if they you keep it blue, just keep it blue. Just keep it blue. True blue when I bust.
All right.
Yes, sir. I mean, what you think?
Look, it's exciting. It's exciting, and that is to some degree what the national convention is supposed to do. I mean, I know they have the business that they handle at the convention, but there's also this is basically it's a big pep rally to get everybody like when Michelle kept saying do something. That's what the convention to some people is supposed to accomplish. It's supposed to get you invested in the candidate and make you so excited that you want to get up, get out, and do something to help that candidate win the election. And I think they are 100% accomplishing that goal, while, of course, taking some singers, taking some shots at, the Trumplican party. And it's exciting.
And don't forget, she turned down the Breakfast Club without hesitation, sir. They asked her to do an interview. She said, not in a million years. She don't respect them. Yep, they tried to get her a couple days ago.
Oh.
Turned them down without hesitation. They didn't
Hold
even
on.
think about
Who
it.
turned them down? Harris or Obama?
Harris. They want Harris on there for an interview.
Okay, I hadn't seen that. I hadn't seen that interview.
No, her representatives turned down the Breakfast Club.
No, I'm saying I hadn't seen where that was a story that she said she would not do the Breakfast Club in a million years because she doesn't respect them. I hadn't seen that.
No, Charlemagne was crying about it yesterday. He was crying about it on I was listening to their program, and he was upset because Hillary went on there, and she made the famous hot sauce comments. So they think they can get anybody. You know what I mean? But she don't respect it. She know what they up to.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. You know how it go down. You know how it go down every time. You must win by any means necessary at the polls. You have to be because you got to remember, if it goes to the red, oh wait, that's blood. Red is bloodshed.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you, CK. Yeah, I hadn't heard that about the Breakfast Club. That sounds it sounds a little weird that Shahara saying no, she's been on the Breakfast Club twice before. She respects them. Well, I don't know. She might have changed her mind. Maybe something happened and she was leaving the studio the last time. Charlamagne tried to fill her booty or something like that. You never know. Something could happen. And she like, I don't respect him no more. So I hadn't seen that story. Of course, I don't listen to The Breakfast Club. And so I hadn't heard that at all. So, I don't know. Kind of along with your Marlon Wayans thing, people have a right to go and interview with the people that they choose to go interview with when they choose to go do those interviews. So you can't bully me. You know, hey, will you come and do my show? Kind of busy. Holla at me later. I'll have my people call your people. You know, whatever. And if you don't like it, oh, she refused to come on my show. You got a right to say it, like she don't want to come on the show. Okay, cool. But like I was saying, I think this Democratic convention, I think it's accomplishing what it was supposed to accomplish. I think she'll see an actual bump after the convention. I think she'll see a bump, which is interesting. Here's what I'll tell y'all. And this, I think Donald Trump has a real grievance. I think Donald Trump has a real grievance. He did his convention, and they took shots at Biden. Biden ain't ish. Biden ain't this. Biden ain't do nothing. Biden ain't nobody. F Biden. All of that kind of stuff. And then after his convention, no, you're running against Kamala, bro. What? I thought we was running against, but we didn't get a chance at our convention to take shots at her. What? He's got a legitimate gripe. I mean, he need to get over it. It is what it is. You made your gripe. Move past it. Because just complaining about it ain't going to help you. He is still complaining about Hillary Clinton's emails. Y'all know when he did his little press conference? He spent a good portion of time complaining about Hillary Clinton's emails. He can't move on. And this Democratic convention got to be killing him. It's got to be killing him. But I said again, Michelle had some good lines. She had some good lines. Who gonna tell him that the job that he trying to get just might be one of those black jobs? That's a good line. Barack Obama with the yes, she can. I'm putting that on a shirt. Kamala 2024 on the back. Yes, she can. You can't beat that. Everybody like a nice slogan. They got the chants going on. It's just excitement. And it is what they're trying to do and what they're effectively doing is put forth a spirit of positivity, of joy, of we can move forward. Like their vision of America is this horrible vision of America. We're being invaded and this crime epidemic and the economy is horrible and everything is terrible and all that. Everything about America is, to Trumplicans, is horrible. America is a terrible place to live. It's a terrible place to work. It's a terrible place to raise a family. It's a terrible place to be. And as maybe Donald Trump would say, and only I can fix it. He said that before. Only I can fix it. The Democrats' vision seems to be you know what? Things ain't that bad. Like, things ain't as great as they could be. But this is still, according to their vision, this is still the best country in the world. This is still where you come when you want an opportunity to go from nothing to something. You might not make it, but you can go from nothing to something. You have an opportunity. I was listening to a conservative speaker, and the conservative speaker was saying, I don't like the Democrats because I prefer a party that gives me the opportunity to achieve. What? That's what they're talking about. That's all you get the opportunity to achieve here. You don't have to be born with money. You don't have to be born white. You don't have to be whoever you are. You have an opportunity here. You have an opportunity. That seems to be, if that's what you're saying, like, I need a party that don't believe that the government had to do everything for me. That's what the Democratic Party, at least that's what they're saying now. That's what their vision is. So if that's what you believe, you're a Democrat. You're a Democrat if that's what you believe.
What? Get the fuck out of here.
If hold your cussing until I bring you on. If you believe, I heard, hold on, Ron. I heard another one saying, all they gonna say at the Democratic convention is rich people are bad. Rich people are bad. Rich people are bad. They want this class warfare, and they want Americans to be against rich people. I haven't heard that at all. They want everybody to have an opportunity to succeed. They don't think rich people, or at least, they don't seem to be putting out the message that rich people are better than other people because they got more money. That seems like a Trump-looking thing. But they're like, rich people should pay their fair share, but everybody should have an opportunity to, the opportunity to attempt to attain that. If you believe that, in 2024, you're a Democrat. You're a Democrat if you believe that. I don't see that. Ron, tell me, what are you hearing that is horrible going on at the Democratic convention?
I didn't say nothing horrible was going on at the Democratic convention.
No, I'm asking, do you hear anything horrible? You hear them talk about rich people are bad and we should hate them?
No, I didn't hear that. I just heard a bunch of bullshit. I mean, and of course I heard, just a bunch of talk. But I want to ask you a question.
All right.
So, we don't have, well, first of all, you said that, I'm a Democrat because I want things to get better, right?
I don't think I said
right?
that. No, I don't think I said that.
Okay, say it how you said it, because I want to be correct.
I don't remember exactly. I don't remember exactly how I said it, but I'm certain that I didn't say. I'm certain that I didn't say that.
Exactly how you said it. I'm telling you what I remember. What I remember.
Okay.
Okay. So you telling me that if I want to be a success and all that other stuff, that the immigrants are coming here and all that, because they want to be a success, and if I want to be a success, I'm a Democrat. Now, the thing about it is,
well, hold on. Before you finish, let me be clear about this. Okay. What I'm saying is, I don't know word for word what I said, but what I'm saying is, if hold on, somebody said turn up the caller. Hold on, let me see if I got you where you're supposed to be. And I think I got him where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. I was talking across the room.
But if you're talking about the vision that the two parties, at least since their conventions, are putting out, One party is saying everybody should have an opportunity here in America. Another party is saying, well, not everybody should have an opportunity here in America. One party is saying America is great and it's a great place for opportunity for people. The other party is kind of saying America ain't that great and we need to make it great, so that it can be, so that certain people can have a better opportunity, but not everybody.
So I want to ask you a question, man.
Okay.
Ooh, that just irritates the shit out of me.
Don't be irritated.
So now, black folk,
Black
folk.
Okay.
You don't think now reparations is one thing. Of course, we deserve that shit. They owe us. They owe us.
Okay.
But they ain't fucking with us. And we've had Democratic presidents, we've had Republican presidents, and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
But they ain't fucking with us. They said that they gonna do a study just recently. What is it, Mayor Whitmer? Yeah, not Mayor Whitmer. Governor Whitmer? No, the governor of New York. And Al Sharpton said that they was gonna do a study on reparations. Said that. Now, we ain't heard nothing about no study, what they came up with, and all that shit. And they did studies on all that shit before, and they haven't given us anything. Anything. We work hard for what we got. Some people steal for what they get, for what they want. Some people we do any and everything. Black people are resourceful. We do any and everything to survive, and some of us get fucked up on the way.
I agree with everything you've said so far.
You can look, and people, please look at Kensington, Pennsylvania. Just look at Kensington, Pennsylvania, and look at Oakland, California, what it is now. They got homeless, and homeless and drug addicts on the street, on the Walk of Fame.
Yes,
on
homeless
the
people do
Hollywood Walk of
exist.
Fame in California. I told somebody that, and they was like, they don't, I told my ex-wife that, and she was like, no, they don't have no homeless there. And I had to show her the pictures.
Okay.
I had to show her the pictures and show her the videos of that shit.
Okay.
You try to say immigrant.
No, I don't say
No,
immigrant.
Okay, I say it.
Okay.
I say it because black people are getting the short end of the stick, and on all of these, in all of these places, in New York, Chicago, Denver, and somebody, and I think it was Lincoln Show or Wyatt Show, and they called up and was saying about how immigrants are taking these jobs, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I just stopped hustling, because and I stopped hustling because when Nigga Ware said my name and say it continuously, I know I'm not gonna get no black customers when I'm floating around in the city. My customer base is white customers anyway, and people out of town, because the black folk don't fuck with me. That's why I do such.
Wait.
Huh?
I'm confused when you say hustling as opposed to hustling. What is hustling and what is hustling?
I hustle when I'm going in the street and hustling my customers.
Huh?
But looking for my customers. I don't have to look for my customers, because they come to me. People come to me, and when they need my services. So when I hustle, I'm going to get them. But I don't hustle no more. You know, not like I said. You know, now
Very confused.
I don't hustle no more because, like I said, when Lincoln be saying my name and all that shit, it makes it difficult for me. You know, and it's a trip because, you know, they can kiss my ass, you know, fuck them, because they don't slow my roll. It's a little inconvenient for me because of all the immigrants that's taking my place right now.
Immigrants are taking your place?
That's crazy. And literally, because see, I do a certain service, and I was the only black person that did my service.
Okay.
In Cincinnati, but see now, and a person that I helped and trusted, a white person, you know, have the immigrants doing what I was doing.
But as a Republican, or you're not a Republican. Hold on. No, you're not a Republican.
Now wait a minute. Just wait a minute.
Wait, but hold on. Okay, go ahead. Because you're about to bring it home, I know.
Go ahead, hustle.
Okay.
You know, do your thing.
Go ahead. As a person who supports the Republicans, aren't you 100% behind a free market economy? That's according to. Hold on. Let me get it out. According to.
But you taking that bull.
Wait, no. According to Donald Trump. According to. Hold on. According to.
Free market. We talking about immigrants.
Hold on.
We talking about immigrants.
But. Oh my goodness.
And we talking about immigrants.
Don't immigrants have a right to be a part of the free market system?
We talking about immigrants and black folks.
Doesn't competition make you better?
Immigrants and black folks.
But doesn't competition make you better? That's what Donald Trump would say.
You ain't gonna distract me because I'm gonna finish my point.
Oh well, go ahead. Finish your point. I want you to finish your point.
My point.
I want you to finish your point. Go ahead.
I'm a finish. Okay, now, like I said.
Okay.
You know they owe us.
They what?
Republican, Democrat. Fuck, hey man, come on, let me finish.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Republican, Democrat, anybody. Them motherfuckers owe us.
They what?
But they ain't gave. They owe us.
They owe us. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. When you. I mean, you gonna let me finish?
I didn't understand, Ron. If you say something and I don't understand what you're saying, I got to clear it up so that I can understand.
You know what I'm saying.
I did not understand what you said. I thought you were saying they own us. And I was like, they own us? They don't own us. What are you? And that's why I wanted to clear it up. You were saying they owe us.
You talking all that shit. You know, you be on that bullshit. But you know what? You be on that bullshit, but it's something serious out here.
I didn't understand the word that was coming out of your mouth.
You were trying to argue with me instead of let me fucking finish my point.
Go ahead, finish your point. Finish your point.
And I'm talking about, you know, basic black. I ain't talking about basic black folks. Everybody. You know, everybody out here struggling. You talking about the free market and it's inflation everywhere and all that other little bullshit. But we here, and we don't have to deal with inflation over in fucking Italy. We got to deal with the shit here. We don't have to deal with migrant crisis in Saudi Arabia. We got to deal with the shit here. And you trying to listen. The thing about it is, I don't care about all that. You know, you say Trump the king and all that other stuff. That shit don't apply to me, and it don't apply to a whole. But it don't apply to a whole bunch of people.
It kind of do.
A whole bunch of people can't stand that transgenderism shit. A whole bunch of people can't understand the fact that they bomb, they giving money to Israel to bomb and bomb and bomb and bomb. These motherfuckers in Gaza, they ain't got shit left, and they talking about bombing some more.
Donald Trump is in favor of that. Donald Trump is in favor of giving money to.
No, I ain't talking about Donald Trump, nigga. I'm talking about right now. Right now.
What are you? I'm confused.
Who in office, nigga? You want to get tied everything to Trump?
He's running for president, bro. You gotta talk about their policies.
The people who are in office right now. The people who are in office right now are doing the things that are going on right now.
And he wants to do the same thing at a higher level.
I don't give a fuck. You know, you trying to go ahead.
That's not
that shit.
That's not reasonable.
Right now.
That's not reasonable.
Right now.
Oh my God. What you're saying is not reasonable.
Emmanuel.
It's not reasonable at all. How do you say, hey, look, the Democrats are giving money to Israel, so I'm going to vote for Trump. But even though Trump want to give more money to Israel, I'm against giving money to Israel, so I'm going to vote for the dude who want to give more money to Israel. That's not reasonable.
No, you know, fuck all that shit.
Logic and reason, yeah. Fuck all that logic and reason shit.
Emmanuel.
Ron.
Emmanuel.
I'm just with you. I'm with you. You won me over. You won me over.
You trying to you deflecting, and you not being honest, and it's a trick.
What have I said that's dishonest?
Because you deflecting, and wait a minute. I don't want to say you not being honest, but you're not being honest with yourself.
What have I said that's misleading?
And it's a trip that, you know, you want to sit and talk about 2025 and him being a dictator in the future, and you always say, well, he ain't done that, or well, not in reference to Donald Trump, but in reference to anything, and has it been done yet?
What? What are you saying? What have I said that about?
No, and see, you always try to get all over me because when I point out your bullshit.
You're not. But that's just it. Ron, hold on. Let me calm down. But Ron, that's just it. You haven't pointed out any bullshit. You're just saying stuff.
When you always do that shit, when I start pointing out your bullshit.
Okay, point out some bullshit.
Please
point out some bullshit.
All right. What's the trippy is, nigga? The fact of the matter is they owe us. And they paying other people besides us. And it's not.
Who is they? Who is they who owe us?
America is giving checks out and giving EBT cards out and giving monthly stipends out.
I don't know what we're talking about.
And providing homes for people that's not here. That's not Americans. We have a homeless crisis in Cincinnati. They said these motherfuckers living in storage units and all that shit. And I see people in Bond Hill. I've been living in Bond Hill for almost 10 years. I see people living coming into Bond Hill, and I know these houses been empty. I know these motherfuckers ain't bought the house.
Who?
Immigrants.
How do you know? Hold on. Wait, Ron. See, this is that fear mongering. So you see a Latino family move into a house, and you automatically assume they're illegal immigrants.
that's all in Lockland, that's all in Hartwell.
Ron,
Oh, no.
Ron.
They ain't getting no stipend.
Ron.
They ain't getting no stipend.
Ron.
And the homeless motherfuckers, I know
Oh, my God.
somebody that, man, I know some homeless folks.
Oh, my God.
That be
Have they
floating
applied for
downtown.
assistance? Have they applied for assistance?
They get, and you try to make it something evil. I can't think of the word I want to use.
I don't even know
But
what
you
you're
try to make
talking
it
about.
Something evil for us to talk about that shit.
I don't-
But you full of
Ron,
shit.
I don't know
When
what
we
you're
taking
talking
it on the
about.
chin.
Ron.
When we taking it on the chin.
Ron, what
When
are
we
you taking on the chin?
And
What are you taking on the
see,
chin?
I survived, nigga. I ain't got no problem.
What are you taking on the chin?
Oh
my God.
We got 2 refrigerators full of food. Shit.
I want one
I
refrigerator.
can go upstairs.
I got a refrigerator, but I don't have a
downstairs.
refrigerator.
I can go upstairs. I can go downstairs. I'm cool.
So then what are you taking on the chin?
But what about everybody else? And that's the fucking problem. They don't. Everybody. They all Kamala Harris great. Kamala Harris great. Fuck that shit.
Ron.
They done did what.
Ron.
Our country is in the trash. And
In case y'all didn't know, this is called a
Democrats did
filibuster.
that shit. And Democrats did that shit. And then you want to sit back and act like, oh, ain't nothing wrong. Every fucking thing is wrong. And
What?
if you think
Tell
we
me
ain't
what's
at
wrong,
war
Ron.
with China, if you think we ain't at war,
Now we're at war with China.
You're sadly fucking mistaken.
Oh, my
the
God.
war is just different. And what the trip is, the United States has not responded to the Iraqi soldiers or the soldiers that were wounded in Iraq. Only thing they did was send more ships over there. Send more destroyers over there. And what the trip is,
Who wounded soldiers in Iraq?
Oh, the Houthis did. One of those motherfuckers did.
The
And
who?
see, you don't know it. You don't know it.
Ron.
They ain't talk about it.
I'm asking you, who wounded soldiers in Iraq?
I'm telling you, and the fucking fact that you don't know.
You said the Houthis. Who was the Houthis?
I'm telling you, what's the trip is? What the trip is, the fact of that you don't know is the issue.
Okay,
And
who
see,
is? So then you can inform me. Who is the Houthis?
Iran. Okay, hey, chill your shit out.
You won't
Iran-
listen. I'm trying to get info. Oh my God.
Man, look. Can you let me talk?
You've been talking for
talking for a minute.
22
Okay,
minutes.
But
I've been just
you
trying to
let
get
me
a question
finish.
in here and there.
You're over the top of me, and you won't let me finish.
You've been talking. Oh my God.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you something, and you ain't letting me talk. Now,
Oh,
the Iran said that they were going to respond, but they haven't done that shit yet. The problem is when Iran met with Putin and Xi and North Korea, the only thing the Iranians didn't have, and the only thing that the North Koreans didn't have was hypersonic technology. Hypersonic technology. They can't shoot them down. Now, you can sit there and hold your hand in your face and all that other shit, but that technology isn't a whole new bomb. That's computer shit.
what are we talking about, Ron?
I'm telling you,
What?
they haven't responded yet, and
And you saying that it is? Wait, and it's Joe Biden's fault that Iran hasn't responded yet?
No, it's Joe Biden's fault that he gave him $500 billion that Trump took away, so they couldn't do all that bullshit. See,
Well,
and it's a trick.
wait, but they
you
haven't
won't
responded.
admit it. But I don't even.
But they haven't responded. You mad because he
Yeah.
gave them money
Hey.
that they haven't used.
No, but see, now you won't address the issue that this motherfucker gave him that $5 billion back. No, you won't address that issue.
What do you want me to say about it?
Hey, the thing about it is,
Oh my God.
we wouldn't be
You just
at
spitting
war.
stuff out.
If
Like
we
you
wouldn't
really
be
don't
at
have
war
anything,
in
so you
three
just
different
spitting a
places.
whole lot of
If
stuff
it
out.
wasn't for the
You
Democrats,
just
if it
fear,
wasn't for
fear,
the Biden
fear,
administration,
fear.
and this
That's
motherfucker
all you
in
doing.
California
Fear.
right now,
Immigrants.
who's
You
fucking running a
got to start with
government?
the greatest hits. You got immigrants. You got Iran. You got, what else did he bring up? North Korea. What else did he bring up? We at war with China. What else did he bring up? Immigrants. And it's just fear. And, but see, because again, this always fascinates me. I'm mad that the Democrats give money to Israel. Okay? That's what I'm mad. The Democrats give money to Israel. Trump doesn't think that the Democrats are going far enough to support Israel. See, that's that bullshit. Why you bringing that up? It's kind of important. If your issue is we're supporting Israel and that's a bad thing, but you want to vote for the dude that wants to give even more support to the bad thing, why wouldn't I bring that up? That's reasonable. A reasonable person would look at that and say, look, he want to punch me in the face, and I'm against people punching me in the face, so I'm going to vote for that dude. He wants to punch you in the face 5 times. Well, why you bringing that up? Why? It's reasonable. It is reasonable to talk about when you're talking about you running people, 2 people are running to lead this nation. One of them is doing something you don't like. The other one wants to do what you don't like, but they want to do it even more. It is reasonable to bring that up in a conversation about which of these people would best support your interests. But he did say, fuck that. Fuck that shit. And the shit that he was saying fuck was reason and logic. Fuck that reason and logic shit. Y'all forgive me. Y'all know I don't cuss, but and when you dealing with somebody, like, again, he didn't want to answer any questions, which is always fascinating to me. People who, I said what I said, and they don't want to be challenged. You wonder how much conviction do you have in what you said if you can't defend it. I said what I said. You did say it, but it's not reasonable. So let's look at it reasonably. I don't want to look at it reasonably. Why would I look at it reasonably? That might change my mind. If you can point out to me where I'm wrong, where my information is wrong, where my logic is wrong, where anything I said is wrong, it might change my mind. So why would I even have the discussion with you when you might point out how wrong I am? I don't understand that. I said what I said. You did say what you said. What you said was exceptionally flawed. And you want everybody to ignore the flaws in your facts, your logic, your reason, and just accept that you said what you said. I don't know. I don't understand that. Twin.
What's up, little man?
Hey, what's up, Eugene?
My nigga. Hey, what that hell, DJ Van, whatever his name. I don't agree with nothing he say. I think he's just a setup informant for the FBI to get more information to the FBI. And he said every guy that been on that base, he went to jail, man. I caught a case. So I went, you know, I ain't that. I stopped listening to him, whatever. But I ain't with that. I ain't setting up people and everything, being informant with the. I don't roll with the police like that.
All right.
So that, you know, I'm not with that.
I'm not sure that the premise of what you just said is actually true, but I understand that you don't roll with DJ Vlad.
I'm saying if you ever go back, anybody that been on his platform on caught a case.
That's not true.
Yeah, okay then. Just about 85 to 90% of niggas been on there.
You just made that up, 100%.
Oh,
you just
you
pulled out a number.
TV. You only thing you worry about is speedos.
You just don't be mad at me because you just made up a statistic. And y'all wonder why I don't believe in statistics. This is one of the reasons why people just make up statistics on the spot.
So if you say you sold 10 t-shirts today, do we supposed to believe or not believe it?
I don't even know what that has to do with what we're talking about.
No, you say you're talking about numbers, man.
But what
No,
you're
ain't no
saying,
butt around
it
shit.
is. What
No,
you're saying
hell with
is
that. Hell with
something
that. No.
you can
Little
go
fish,
through
big fish,
and
catch
you can
one.
tell factually whether or not one thing is one thing. Now, initially you
Man.
said everybody who been on his show done called a case. And I said that's not true.
Everybody, about 85% of niggas
No.
been on there called a case.
That was your revision. You revised it after I called you on the
Lord,
everybody
have mercy.
point. So everybody
Why you
done
do
called a
that?
case.
Why you do
And
that?
then
You wonder why people cut you
85,
out.
90%. You made
Slow
up a
down.
statistics,
That's what's wrong
bro.
with you. You
You
don't
made
listen.
up a statistic.
No, you don't listen. You like fucking with people, man. That's
No,
not cool.
I
You a
like
grown-ass
people-
man.
look,
Sit your ass in that
if-
baby seat and listen.
If you gonna give
Motherfucker,
information,
shit. We
you
tired of
should
your
give
ass.
good
No,
information.
it's time
If
to
you
kick your
don't
short
know
ass.
the information,
No.
just say,
slow down.
just
slow
say
the hell
stuff
down.
like, check this out. Here's what you can say, twin. That could be accurate. I've seen a lot of people who did his show that ended up catching cases. But when you throw 85 to 90%, you just pulled that out the air. Don't do that. Don't give out
I'm not
false
doing shit with everybody
information.
I know that been on there caught a case. Goofy. What are you talking
That's
about?
not what you
don't-
said. That's not what you said.
Take it how the fuck you want to take it, Goofy.
You made up
That's
a
what the fuck-
statistic, and yes, that bothers me.
Man, there you go with this bullshit. That's why he can't never get his point across. We understand him. I try to understand him, but you interfere with it. What the fuck he trying to say? If you start listening, quit doing that goofy shit.
Quit asking
Man,
for
that
people
shit-
to give out
No.
actual factual
That's-
information when they're claiming that they're actually giving out
I
facts.
know you fuck with people mind, man.
That's
Quit
not
doing that
effing with
shit.
nobody
That's
mind.
dirty shit.
Unless your
Yes,
mind
it
can't
is.
comprehend that
You don't
facts
let
should
nobody
be
get their point
factual.
across. You full of shitty, man. That's all you is.
I
You full
let
of
people
short shit.
just stop making up statistics.
All right, man, on with the on, man. On with the on. Look, last night, it was all right. I give it to Obama's credit. They brought their gang. They brought the gangsta out of them. I can admit that. But that don't prove shit. That don't prove a motherfucking thing. What y'all go do? You just hyping the crowd up and everything else. Who go hit the stage tonight? Probably Beyonce and Jay-Z. After that, come Friday, we back to goddamn America. That ain't doing shit, man. That is not doing nothing.
But that's what it's supposed
This
to
ain't
do.
nothing but a motherfucking Obama show 2008 remix. That's
It's a
all
pep
it
rally.
is.
It's a pep rally. That's exactly what it is, and that's what it's supposed to be.
And pop it and taking these pom-poms and goddamn it letting this shit loose. That's all they doing. If you catch that pom-pom, that's on you, because I'm not catching the drip. I like his MO, what he brought, and everything else. Her, too. She was gangster, and she looked it good, too. And shit, they brought that Chirac shit up
She
out
did
on
look
last
it
night.
good.
Other than that, I'm not going with that little diddy woo shit ass shit. I'm never bowing down to no stuff like that, man. It's crazy. Now one of them talk about nothing. You get listen here. You get look. Listen here.
I'm
Something
listening.
more than important. Like Ron was saying, you got to start at home before you go outside somewhere else. Be on some goofy shit. Over there in Iraq, they worry about shit over there, man, giving them money, doing this and everything else. But you can't do shit for us over here when black folks ask for something. You got homeless people, and he's talking about, I'm going to sign an executive order and shut this shit down. But you let a gay motherfucker do whatever the fuck they want to do. Let a boy be a goddamn turn to be a girl. Let a girl turn to be a boy. What type of fugazi shit that is?
What?
And you wonder, you think God ain't gonna hit America? This shit about to fall down like Babylon.
What does
Man,
one
it's
thing
crazy.
have to do with the other?
Why the fuck you worry about what the fuck going on in Israel and other stuff? What about over here, man? You got kids, goddamn it, don't even know what the fuck they is, and you confusing their ass. Come on, man. You got homeless people, man, out on the street. And then you want to sign an executive order over there in California to move their ass and shit? But where they go?
What are we talking
Come on.
about? What are you,
Motherfucker, catch on.
what
I'm
are you
talking
talking
what God said.
about?
God damn, that's why your problem. If you start listening to this shit, you're always trying to criticize
I'm-
somebody. You don't know.
I'm
You don't know what you-
listening, but you're just rambling about
I'm telling you
stuff
what the
that's
fuck
got
Ron was
nothing
talking
to
about
do
earlier.
with
What he was
anything
talking
else.
about- no, when Ron was talking about the homeless over there in California and other shit in other countries, that's what the fuck I'm talking about.
All right,
We can- we
hold
can
on.
relate
Can
to
you
what he's
wait?
saying. No.
Can you answer some questions for me?
Because you pissed me the fuck off.
Can
doing
you
that gay
answer
shit,
some
man.
questions for me?
Go, man. Go.
Those homeless people, have they applied for assistance?
What you think? They probably did, man.
They
It ain't
probably
about
did
that.
or they did.
Why the fuck you help them over there?
Hold on.
To
They
build their
probably
country
did
up?
or they did. Which?
Did Lewinsky and all them ask for assistance?
Who?
Lewinsky or whatever over there in Israel, wherever the fuck he had. Didn't he ask
You talking
for
about Monica?
what is this goddamn Russian dude name over there?
Oh, Zelensky.
Him and Linsky, whatever his damn name
Yes,
is.
he
all
asked
of
for assistance. He made a public worldwide plea for assistance. Yes, he did.
it. Okay, so why the people over here are crying? And y'all know how y'all homeless is. Y'all rather put a goddamn Super Bowl and shit, move them homeless up, y'all come back after the Super Bowl. So what type of
We
shit
met
is
at the
that,
Super
man?
Bowl?
You got other countries, man, care for their homeless, man. You know that?
Look, I agree with you, twin. I agree that this
That's what
nation.
Ron was trying to make, man.
No, it's
Start
not
at
the
home
point he was
first.
trying to
Yes, the
make,
fuck he
because
was.
one
Yes,
has
he was.
nothing to
Start
do.
at home
It's
first,
got
man.
nothing to do with a lot of the stuff that y'all talking about. What does the homeless people have to do with signing an executive order about transgender rights? Nothing.
They said, listen, damn it. They said
It's got nothing to do with it. Tie them together for me.
Just listen, goofy.
Tie them together for me. Go ahead.
They said it's an executive order if you question your goddamn kid.
And what that got to do with homelessness?
You rather look for a goddamn, you rather overlook a damn homeless than motherfucking question they goddamn sex agenda or whatever.
They have
That's what the
nothing
fuck-
to do with one another.
You fucking slow. I swear, you slow right
Homelessness?
now.
You really
No, quit
believe?
fucking-
Hold on.
Let
Just
me
so
break it down
wait.
to your ass dummy.
No, hold on,
No,
because
motherfucker, 'cause
I'm
you acting
I'm more
stupid to me.
dummier than you think. So I got to break it down for my own dumminess, okay? You're saying that asking that people treat transgender people with dignity and respect takes away from helping homeless people?
Shut the hell up. You got it
That's
all
what
twisted.
you
See
just
there?
said.
If you just listen, you running out your damn dick sucker, man. Your ass on goofy shit. But you won't
Oh
let a
my
motherfucker
God.
listen.
Oh my God.
Shit. Just
Oh.
listen for a minute.
All right.
I
say it.
Luke, that dude in California,
California.
he rather take them gay rights, listen to their ass,
Uh-huh.
and you go have put a case on you if you question your child about their sexuality.
Okay.
But you go look over them homeless and shit and everything else. That's what point Ron was trying to make.
The
But you wasn't
two
listening.
have nothing to do with one another. That's a stupid ass tie-in. That's dumb. Excuse my language, y'all. That's dumb as fuck to tie those two things together. You can talk about treating LGBT people with some fucking respect and try to do something about homelessness. The talking about respecting LGBTQ people ain't making nobody fucking homeless.
Lord have mercy. I'm just lost. I'm really lost. I'd rather go put up these milk crates and everything else than listen to this stupid that you can't catch on. So you try to be smart and everything, and I want to be educated, try to educate somebody, but you just fucked up, man. You fucked
No,
up for real
what you're
today.
saying
Yes, you is.
makes no fucking
No.
sense.
No, you just can't catch up, man. You slow today.
No,
wish
I
could
can
talk to
catch up.
A real nigga.
Here,
I could
here,
talk to a
twin,
real nigga,
twin.
Man, but you're on that goofy shit.
Twin,
No.
you can
I'm
sign
not
an
about to keep
executive order about LGBTQ rights
I'm done talking
and,
about it, man. Have a
and
good day, 'cause you
handle
full of shit.
homelessness. You can do both. It's not one or the other. That's stupid. And y'all know I don't like to use the word stupid, but that's stupid. You don't tie those two things together. Should they do more about homelessness? Absolutely. Absolutely. But LGBTQ rights got nothing to do with that. Stick to blaming immigrants for homelessness in America. You can't, divvy it out to everybody. Immigrants. That's the reason for homelessness. Immigrants. I'll roll with you on that. Immigrants. Those damn immigrants. We don't like immigrants. Apparently they're better workers than black people, but we don't like immigrants. And if it wasn't for immigrants, it wouldn't be no homelessness in America. Stick to that argument. Don't sign an executive order about LGBTQ rights, but won't do nothing about homelessness. Now, I'm not going to make up a statistic, okay? Because I don't, look, y'all, the statistic thing. How do you start a conversation by saying everybody that's been on that show done caught a case? It only took one little fact check, and I didn't even have to go into the detail to prove that wrong. All I had to say is, that's not true. Well, when they say well, that means you got me. What I said wasn't true. And I know it wasn't true. I didn't expect nobody to call me on it. But you did. So now I gotta spin it in such a way that what I'm saying is kinda true. So, all right, well, about 85 to 90% of them, if 10 seconds ago you thought the number was 100%, and then I politely say that's not true, and now you come up with a real statistic, 85 to 90%. You made that shit up. You made that shit up. Just say a lot of people who've been on his show. Because that can go either way, you know. People have different definitions of what a lot is. But when you say concrete stuff like all or 85, 90%, that's an actual concrete number. Don't get mad at me because I like facts to be factual. That's not my fault. Maybe it is. Ron did tell me, fuck all that logic and reason shit. So I should just facts right in there. Facts, logic, and reason should be out the door. And then we can have a good conversation. Marquetta?
Hey, man.
How you doing?
How you doing today? You want to take a breath?
I
ain't going to fuss at you, I promise.
No. You go ahead.
What you think about turned down for what? And what was the roll call? Who was that? DJ Cassidy? He was turned up for the DNC.
It's a pep rally, and they're supposed to be turned up.
Yeah, I ain't mad at him. Just asking what you thought about it.
No,
What did you think about what was
that's
going
what
on
I
the
thought about
outside?
it. That's what I'm just sharing.
What you think about what was going on the outside?
Well, apparently it was a lot of violence and everything going on the outside.
Violence like what?
What the Palestinian people
Just protesting?
was out there protesting. Apparently somebody
Who did-
attacked. Apparently somebody attacked the police
No.
in a way that was a pre-planned attack, so they knew they was gonna do it. There was stuff going on outside.
That is terrible. But you know what? They had, I don't know if it was an anniversary protest or what, but in Ferguson right now, it's a black police officer who was assaulted by protesters, and he got a traumatic brain injury.
Yes.
And that was terrible. I don't know why they did that. Even the police was like, hey, what y'all mad at right now? Do you feel as if the people who are protesting have a legitimate gripe?
Well, it all depends. I mean, I think everybody thinks that they have a legitimate gripe if they have a gripe. So whether or not I think their gripe is legitimate doesn't
But
really
the question
matter.
is to you.
Huh?
But my question is to you, though. It's not about everybody. I'm asking about your opinion. Do you feel protesters, it's 231 different groups, right?
Okay.
So just one aspect of the groups are talking about the Palestinians. But then you also have black people who are in that group who are doing like reparations rallies. You have women in those groups who are demanding, I don't know, abortion access. I'm not really sure what, because I think it was you who told me that it was a Supreme Court's decision on the abortion thing. It wasn't really a presidential decision. I mean, we talked about that some years back. Am I right on that?
Yes.
Okay, so what they mad for? Because what can a presidential elect do in regards to a Supreme Court decision? Can she reverse it?
Well, what she can do is when there comes a time to appoint another Supreme Court justice, she could appoint someone who believes more along the line of what they believe in.
When does she get to do it? Well, when would a president be able to put in a new Supreme Court justice?
Somebody steps down, someone dies, or I don't know the exact process, but they could expand the Supreme Court.
Yeah, they could expand it. That would be good. That would be good to see. I think that's what needs to happen. They just need to put some more people on there. So you don't think that took any hype away from the DNC pep rally when you got all them people outside protesting?
Nah, not at all.
So what do you think about their, how do I say this? What policy on the DNC platform out of everybody who spoke did you enjoy the most? What policy did they push that stuck out to you?
I like the idea of building more housing units, and even though I'm not 100% sure on exactly how they plan on doing it, but was it 30 million? Are they talking about building 30 million housing units and then the government having an opportunity to assist people and become homeowners? I like that idea. I like the idea of controlling the cost of medicines for senior citizens, having Medicare, I believe it is, be able to negotiate drug prices for senior citizens to keep prices low. I like that idea. It was a number of different things. I can't think of them all right now, but there were a number of different policy issues that were put out there that I liked.
So is it anything that they're not doing now? I mean, if she's running and those things are already kind of in place, I think they said they capped insulin at $30, which is good, and they continue to make strides towards getting lower costs, and they're doing that. Like, how is that what is the, I don't know, what's the big change or what's the switch up between Biden and Harris? Is there a different platform agenda, or is this just a second Biden term with Harris at the, you know what I mean?
It's a little bit of both. Of course, the vice president does not necessarily have a lot of legislative authority, right? So she can't just walk in there and sign an executive order or anything like that. She gets to vote as a tiebreaker, but like when they keep calling her the border czar, she did not have the authority to just go and sign an executive order and close the border, for example. So if Marquetta is the president and Emanuel is the vice president,
I would choose you, but go ahead.
Marquetta, you could do worse. Marquetta would have her plan. And as the person in the background, I'm going to support whatever Marquetta say. I might not 100% agree with it, but she at the top of my ticket. She the president. My job is to be ready to go, if something happened to her. But other than that, to help implement her agenda. But guess what?
So if I give you a job out of my agenda, how would you enforce that position? If I make you my border czar, I think that's what you're calling her.
That's what they call her.
How would you do that job if you don't if you don't really have no power?
Exactly.
How would you do a job if you don't
exactly.
have power?
You kind of can't. Stuff like that, those are political
so
stunts.
Why you get the job?
Those are political stunts, if you ask me. So to say she's in charge of the border, that was a political stunt. There was, what could she do? You know what I'm saying? She could go down there, put on some Kevlar, some bulletproof stuff and, roll up her sleeves and stand there and point. They take a picture and go to another area and look really concerned. And
so what's the difference between her and Mayorkas? Is that his name?
Who?
Because they got him on impeachment. Mayorkas, he's supposed to be in charge of the border too.
Well, a lot of the impeachment stuff that these Republicans are doing is totally nonsensical. Like,
you
can't
watch the impeachment hearings?
I watched some of them, but you can't.
So why would you say it's nonsensical? I mean, they can't bring. Wait a minute before we go, because the impeachment argument can't really be. The impeachment inquiry or the impeachment argument, it can't really be started without some paperwork and some level of legitimacy. It's not like they can just say, we're going to, impeach everybody all the time. They have to have some basis for the argument.
It's not true. They can impeach.
Oh, really?
They can impeach anybody that they get the votes to impeach. You don't have to even have, you don't need any facts to call an impeachment inquiry. And then you don't need any proof to actually impeach someone. It's just a vote.
Who told you that? So when they impeached Trump and he didn't get impeached, they didn't have any facts. They didn't have any
he did get impeached. He didn't get removed. He didn't get convicted. But he did get impeached.
Okay. So, but it was bull.
It could be.
Is that what you're saying?
Somebody could say that. Sure.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. I hear you. What do you think about them or this particular administration being the administration who has given the most money to Israel, but every administration has given Israel billions and billions of dollars a year, but this particular administration has given more money towards Israel than anybody. What do you think about that?
First, I'm not sure that that's 100% accurate. I'm not saying it's not. I haven't looked into it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't looked into it, so I'm not going to say
If that is accurate, if that was the case, how would you feel about that?
And
they gave Israel an additional $16 billion more, for instance, just hypothetically speaking. How would you feel about that as an American, you seeing your tax dollars being given to a state that's constantly at war?
I don't like it. I don't like it giving them an additional 16 bit. I don't like them giving them a little bit. I don't like, I don't particularly care for the idea of all of this foreign aid that we give all over the place because of all of this stuff that people are talking about. Not the immigrants, but the homelessness and other people that we need to help in this country. So I don't like the idea of I understand the idea that we kind of have to do this stuff. You know, it helps stabilize governments and all that kind of stuff. And in different parts of the world, we need certain things. We have certain interests, and so we need certain things. So I understand it. And I do believe that a number of things are going on in the world. I don't like it. That's the answer. I don't like it.
Okay, I gotta ask, how do you support a platform that puts Hillary Clinton, somebody who has helped to overthrow Haiti like 3 times? Somebody, I think it was Obama, if you look it up, he said one of his biggest regrets in office was in, them helping Libya overthrow Gaddafi, and it was really behind Hillary Clinton's kind of direction. How do you feel about her? Like, she makes my skin crawl. Well, how do you feel about her being platformed just like this? And before you go off, let me say this. Hillary Clinton, her first case was defending the rapist of a 12-year-old who had been kidnapped and beat up. And she won the case by making the child out to be a promiscuous little girl who turned these men on. The little girl was kidnapped, she was beat up, she was raped, and that's how Hillary Clinton became a good lawyer. Why would the DNC keep on platforming her?
Well, you asked a couple questions there. Let me address the lawyer question first, because to me, that's the easiest.
That wasn't a question, but go ahead.
But, I mean, you
That was a
put
statement.
it in there.
That was a statement, but go ahead.
It was a part of the question. But the idea that a lawyer defends their client to the best of their ability, I thoroughly understand it. Now, would I do that? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what case I would take and what case I wouldn't take. But if I took your case, I'm going 100%. So that I understand. Even though there are things about Hillary, she rubs me the wrong way. Okay.
Hillary Clinton is wicked, man. That's the devil in disguise, in my opinion. I mean, we talked about Haiti before, when Aristide was in it, her husband had him forcibly removed, even though he was democratically elected. And then when she was running for president, part of the reason she didn't get in was because the Haitian Americans was saying the role that she played to make sure they didn't get increase in minimum wage, because she sat on the board of Walmart, and Walmart and Disney had a lot of sweatshops down in Haiti at that time. And so she used her political power to disrupt their country so that they wouldn't have the basis to get an increase in wages. I mean, I just don't get how she the hero of the DNC party.
First, she's not the hero of the DNC party. But she's a very powerful person in the party. Because, her husband was the president. She was a senator. She was a secretary. She's held very powerful positions in the party, and she's very well known. And while she's polarizing, like, a whole lot of people love Hillary, a lot of people hate Hillary. And if you at a pep rally, you put up your big names at the pep rally. So I understand why they would put her on a platform, because she's well known. She kind of ran for president and came pretty close to winning. It's reasonable and logical that you would put up one of your biggest stars in the party at your big pep rally. That's just reasonable.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying my opinion. I don't see her necessarily as a star. I see her as let's talk about the war crimes of this administration. Do you feel this administration is committing war crimes?
I don't know, but here is it, because I don't know that one feels that someone is committing war crimes. Either they are or they aren't. And
okay, let me rephrase that. I just came out of deposition, so I'm talking like them. Let me rephrase that for you. The UN, the International Criminal Court of Justice in South Africa, actually filed war criminal charges against Israel for genocide against Palestine. Mm-hmm. And they had a series of standards that the International Criminal Court uses to define genocide. And they found Israel guilty. there's actually a warrant out for Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I'm sorry, now you can answer. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure that I understand what the question is.
So what do you feel about that? How do you feel about the present administration? This is the Biden-Harris administration, who we just talked about the funding of Israel, who is in an international court of law where South Africa and other nations have decided.
Wait, so the question is, how do I feel about it?
What do you think about it? How does that impact your vote going into November, seeing that we're supporting an international war criminal who actually came into Congress, and both sides kind of, embraced him, and both sides are receiving money from the American-Israeli pact to keep him getting funds? How does that impact your vote?
It doesn't impact my vote even a little bit. Here's why.
Damn.
Like you said, both sides are doing it. I'm not one of these people who I'm not gonna vote for a Republican or a Democrat, someone who has an opportunity. One of them will be the president. So I'm not one of these people who I'm gonna withhold my vote, or I'm gonna do a protest vote for somebody that I know is not gonna win. I'm not one of those people. So if you say to me, Emanuel, you have these two people, they both believe in the same thing. The Republicans blame the Democrats not going hard enough for Israel, but the Democrats are going hard for Israel. So the Democrats are evil for going hard for Israel. The Republicans are then even more evil, using that logic, are even more evil for saying we're going to go harder for Israel. So how does that affect which one of them you vote? If I believe Israel is committing war crimes and we shouldn't support them, they both support them. So that wouldn't be anything that would sway my vote one way or the other. If it did sway my vote one way or the other, it would sway my vote towards the Democrats, because the Republicans are saying they're not going hard enough for the war criminal.
But when the Democrats was in office, there wasn't a genocide.
Okay.
I mean, he did build Golem Heights. He did build Golem Heights. He evicted people from their land. He pushed them off of their property, etc. But we didn't see the carnage of children being blown up, their bodies being demolished. I mean, you didn't see, I think they said the number right now stands at like 25,000 kids who have been murdered by bombs, cluster bombs, etc.
But again, to me, Marquetta, that's tantamount to saying all of the people who died under COVID is Donald Trump's fault because we didn't have a pandemic when Barack Obama was in office. You can't.
Now you sound like twin. Now you sound like you're arguing with twin. How has that got to do with that?
I'm going to explain.
Stick with the thing.
Can I explain?
Yes, sir.
There's a parallel here.
Yes, sir.
If the argument is that Joe Biden or the Democrats encouraged this war to happen and encouraged these alleged war crimes to happen, you might have an argument based on, they supported him, so they encouraged this war crime. Well, Trump was supporting him when he was in office. Some things just happen when they happen. Some people get fed up when they get fed up. Hamas allegedly attacking Israel happened when it happened. Had it happened under Trump, it wouldn't be Trump's fault. So that's what I'm saying. It happened when it happened, but at least to me, it's not reasonable to blame the Democratic Party for the war in Israel. I don't see the tie.
Even though they're funding it.
They were being funded by the United States before that.
They weren't getting funded in this
It doesn't
manner.
matter. They were still being funded.
It does not matter. We're talking about 25,000 children, 45,000 people.
It doesn't matter because they were still being funded.
And the uptick to a third nuclear war with Iran in that general area. Hezbollah, fighting Tehran, they killing off their leaders, Hamas leaders, they're killing people. That's going on in this administration because of the military, the uptick in the military funding of that. I got one more question. What do you think about Jesse Jackson?
I think Jesse Jackson is a guy. I don't understand the question. What do you mean?
Jesse
What do I
Jackson
think about him?
Jesse Jackson was the first black man that was popular and ran as president. I remember when I was little, I have a dream. We became African Americans under him.
You are somebody.
You are somebody. And the DNC is basically telling him, we appreciate you. Thank you. What do you think about that?
I don't have a problem with the DNC appreciating Jesse Jackson.
Okay, because Jesse Jackson ain't have a snowball chance in hell of winning, but he still ran.
Okay.
And when we talk about third-party voters and people not having a snowball chance in hell of winning, he still was one of those people who ran.
He ran in the primary, yes.
And the symbolism of him being there, even though eventually, he dropped out,
right.
The symbolism of him being there was honored. If he wouldn't have ran, we wouldn't have never gotten Obama. We never would have got to Harris, etc. But I'm just saying, when you talk about, you wouldn't throw your vote behind somebody who ain't got a snowball chance in hell of winning. He didn't.
No, that's in the general. See, there's a difference in the general election and in these primaries, right? Because I might, especially, look, say take this primary season. Joe Biden, let me take the Republican side. Donald Trump, everybody who was really paying attention, we knew Donald Trump was going to be the nominee. There was no ifs, no ands, no buts. But if I'm a Republican and I don't agree with Donald Trump's policies, I might vote for Nikki Haley. I might vote for Ron DeSantis. I know they're not going to win. This is my protest vote. But when it comes to the general, I'm voting Republican. I'm voting for. There is a time for a protest vote, and there is a time for a vote of consequence. And if you're like me, which you may not agree with this, but if you're like me and you believe that democracy itself is under attack from a candidate, I believe that. I believe Donald Trump is a legitimate threat to democracy. So why would I do a protest vote in an election that is probably going to be super close, razor thin margins, to give a threat to democracy? It's going to be, there's a chance Trump will win. This election is going to be super close. And I don't want to do a protest vote and then end up with the guy who I believe is going to attempt to dismantle our democracy.
Yeah, when Jill Stein ran last time, they said the percentage of third-party voters is kind of what got Trump in. And with Trump, we did get that Secretary of the United States in there who decided that we shouldn't have abortions on a federal level. I hear you. But, I mean, you're still going to have protests outside of that DNC convention, like I said, because the current administration...
you had protests outside of the RNC convention as well.
I didn't see them.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yes. There's always going to be protests. There's always going to be protests outside of the conventions. Always.
What do you think about them saying this protest is similar to 1968, where you had groups like SNCC and the people who was against Vietnam and stuff? They said this is the same type of because it's, like I said, it's 231 different protest groups, and the violence and the the drama or whatever is at that level. Are you afraid of, because I hear you say you're afraid of Trump, are you afraid of a civil war, or what do you think is going to come of the protest if they're fighting the police?
I'm not afraid of a
And it
civil
don't
war.
sound. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not afraid of a civil war.
Okay.
I believe he has been putting things in place since he lost. He has been putting things in place to do away with anyone who would, like, if he gets elected and he's in office and then he decides he gonna do a third term and everybody is like, no, bro, you can't do that. He is putting things in place. You know, they keep saying, oh, the guardrails held. And that's why, you know, everything transitioned over the way it was supposed to. Someone.
Okay, well, I've heard, who is that, Schumer and some other people say they would, even if he won, they wouldn't allow him to become president.
Okay, I haven't
they would
heard that.
invoke some sort of it's out there. It's on the internet if you look it up. Want me to pull it up for you?
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah, let me pull it up. So he was basically saying, you know, we won't allow him, even if he wins, to become president.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. That sounds.
I'll drop the link in your chat.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
That don't sound good.
Yeah, it doesn't sound real.
Oh, you think I would lie? I ain't gotta lie to you about
No.
that.
I'm not saying you would lie, but I think it's possible. It's possible that you read some bad information and believed it. That's different than lying.
Congress says Trump and not. And another thing, I was listening to you and Twin while I looked that up. Governor Newsom, since he took office in 2008, has been promising that he would change the homelessness. And so they've given Governor Newsom billions of dollars, $20 billion here, $30 billion there. And I was saying in the chat, California's population of black people is only like 7%. And we are the homeless. We homeless in California. And now it's illegal to be homeless. And most of the people that's homeless is black men. Where is the concern from the Democratic Party about mass evictions of homeless people?
I would imagine.
Is that something that they should be concerned about?
Everyone should be concerned about the way homeless people are treated and dealing with our I'm gonna say homeless problem, even though I feel like that trivializes it. Everybody should be concerned about
housing. That. They have enough housing. It's enough housing. It's enough housing in California. It's the cost of the housing. So just like we saw in Chicago when you seen the migrants come in, there were already homeless people, but they utilized private and public spaces for migrants where they wouldn't use it for Americans. And I think that's what Twin was trying to say to you.
I'm pretty sure that's not what he was trying to say. But either way, even if he was, if the argument, and I'm not saying this is your argument, but if the argument is the Democrats aren't concerned enough about homelessness, the Republicans are even less concerned about this same homelessness. They don't care. They're big time, put them out, arrest them. They shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there. You know, so again, for me, a lot of this stuff is the same. The parties are very similar. There are, though, some key differences. And that's, to me, where the distinction becomes. So, but even in this case, again, for me, for this election, this is not even a case of Republicans versus Democrat. This is a case of Trump, who I believe is a threat to democracy, who I believe wants to dismantle our government as we know it, versus anybody else. I would vote for the anybody else. So philosophical arguments are cool if all things are equal. Like I said, if it was John McCain, I don't believe John McCain wanted to dismantle our democracy. So then we could be having that conversation about, well, what about their views on Israel? What about their views on Homeland? What about their views on LGBTQ? And, we could kind of parse all those issues. But it's Trump, who I believe is a direct threat to democracy. So all of those issues, from my perspective, kind of get pushed to the side because I don't want to see a King Trump.
A king Trump, is what you said?
Yes.
Can you have kings in America?
You can if you dismantle our government like he wants to do.
Hold up. So if Biden is in office right now, can he write a law that says you can't become a king in America?
That's not how laws work.
So how would he write himself in as a king then?
He would do exactly what he's doing and kind of what Project 2025 lays out. They want to get rid of what they're calling bureaucrats and put people who are loyal to him in place to lead all of these government organizations. So then you put people who are loyal to Donald Trump. Not to the Constitution, not to any of that kind of stuff. Remember, I was talking about the guardrails holding when he attempted to overthrow the government on January 6th, but Mike Pence would not go along with what he said and all that kind of stuff. All of that stuff is true. But if you have people in place who, again, they're not loyal to the government, they're not loyal to the Constitution, they're loyal to Donald Trump. If Donald Trump says, this is the rule, that becomes the rule for them. And they enforce that. And if they all enforce that in their own individual departments, you can, let's do away with the Department of Education. We don't need it. Okay, let's do away with the Department of Defense. Or the Department of Defense only does whatever Donald Trump says. What if what Donald Trump says is against the Constitution? What if Donald Trump says, go nuke New Orleans? No, ain't nobody gonna do that. They will if the person in place is loyal to Donald Trump and not to the Constitution.
Who is loyal to Biden? Where's the Biden loyalist at? Because he's in office right now, and I hear you talking your hypotheticals, and you're fearful.
These are not hypotheticals in the sense that it is a clearly written out plan. It's a clearly written out plan. That's like
it's called Agenda 47 now, and so Project 2025 was all. You talking to Marquetta? I don't do Democrat Republican. I say devil versus Satan. My concern is for Black Americans in particular, and in general American people. And my question to you is: we have a current administration right now, and you're talking about loyalty and who's loyal to the president. I'm not talking about Trump. I'm talking about right now. Who is loyal to Biden? Why is Biden? If it's still a thin margin, I mean, I see the hype behind Harris. I'm excited for y'all. But if there's it was a thin margin between Biden and Trump. They was close head to head then. You're saying Harris is still a very razor thin margin. Where is the loyalty to Biden? Is there any loyalty to Biden? I mean, you don't think that people are being disloyal to the president by kicking him off of the ticket and putting somebody else in place?
I'm not sure we're talking about the same level or degree of loyalty. See, I'm not talking about loyalty in terms of I like him, I want him to run. I'm talking about loyalty. I hope that there's nobody in government that if Joe Biden gave them an unconstitutional order, that they would do it because of their loyalty to Biden. Can I say for 100% certainty that doesn't exist? No. But I hope that there's not that level of loyalty. See, I'm not talking about loyalty in the art of politics. Are you my guy? I'm going to support you. I hope you win. Oh, the tides are turning and it look bad for you. Bruh, you might need to sit down. You losing. That's not the kind of loyalty that I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the kind of go ahead.
Okay, so here is an excerpt from an article that I just dropped in your chat. All right. Because we're talking about the Constitution and we're talking about laws, and this was written. Hold on. This came out. and of course it's on the Fox News, but it was 5 months ago, and it's still been floated around the internet. It says a new piece in the Atlantic this week floated the idea that there might be room for House Democrats to vote against certifying former President Trump for office if he wins re-election. The article, written by staff member Russell Berman, argued that if the Supreme Court declined to weigh in on whether Trump is eligible to run for office under the 14th Amendment, the House Democrats could take it upon themselves to vote against certifying him, as it's up to them to say he's ineligible. Berman wrote that legal scholars say that absent clear guidance from the Supreme Court, a Trump win could lead to constitutional crisis in Congress. Democrats would have to choose between confirming a winner many of them believe is ineligible and defying the will of the voters who elected him. So I didn't find Schumer saying it on YouTube because I really don't have time, but I saw him say it. He said something similar to that article. That, I mean,
okay.
I don't,
well, hold on. Let's.
I'm gonna listen to you off of air because this is your show, and I just want to finish with this. For Black Americans to be behind any of these parties and not get anything out of it is ridiculous. For us to clown each other and say we sound stupid, look stupid, ignorant, or whatever, while we are pushing on either side, Republican or Democrat, and their platform and their policy uses us. The Republicans using us, the Democrats using our music and our culture to push us as if we're getting something. When, like I just said, the most of the homeless people, the homeless camps in California, those are black.
Are you
people,
voting?
Mostly black men.
Are you voting?
I vote Jill Stein every election.
All right. What did you get? What did you get out of that?
I got my hands clean. I got my hands.
So you got
clean
nothing. So you got nothing out of it.
I got my clean hands, knowing I wasn't complicit in
that would be
killing
nothing.
children. I got. What you mean? That's not nothing. What? Don't you believe in God?
I do believe in God.
That,
wait, so a vote for Jill Stein was a vote for God?
Talk about transgender rights. Let me say this. I got clean hands knowing that I'm not supporting men who think they're women, who go to prison, who demand sex change operations and then being placed into women's prisons.
So you got nothing out of your vote. As a black person, what did you get out of your vote for Jill Stein?
How do you as a black person who come from the legacy of SNCC?
I'm asking you, you said, hold on, you just said that black people should not vote for either of these parties because they're not getting anything out of it. What did you get out of your vote for Jill? So you got nothing. As a black person, you got nothing.
What do you get? What did you get out of this administration? Do you go to an HBCU? Are you a black business owner? Did you get a tax break? Hello?
Yes, I went to an HBCU. Yes, I'm a black business owner. No, I didn't get a tax break. Now, what did you get out of your vote for Jill Stein? As a black person, what did you? No. What did you get as a black person?
I don't support Trump.
Look,
as
you
a
can't.
Black person, I got a candidate.
You can say whatever.
Because you arguing.
You're not actually answering the question. You're not answering the question. I said, as a black for black people, what did you get?
I got a vice presidential candidate who is also Muslim.
Hold on. Did that give you a tax break?
Presidential candidate. Hey, I got a presidential candidate.
Did that give you a tax break?
Continues to support that. I don't need tax breaks.
So wait a minute, but you can't. In one breath, you're saying black people shouldn't vote for these parties because they're not giving you anything as black people. But you voted for a party that didn't give you anything as a black person.
No, they just didn't win.
You didn't get anything.
Like I just said, clean hands, Emanuel.
So in other words, you didn't get anything. But
with war crimes.
You all right with it?
I'm not complicit with killing babies. I'm not complicit with.
Of course you are.
Immigration.
Of course you are.
That's killing.
Of course you are. You're just as complicit. Do you pay taxes?
Nope. I'm an independent contractor. At the end of the year, if I
you
choose to pay
still
taxes,
pay taxes. You still pay taxes.
Yeah, and it goes straight to Israel. That's who get all the money.
Would that make you complicit?
That's who get all the power.
So wouldn't that make you complicit?
No.
The money that you given is going there.
I'm not voting for those people to use my money.
Don't matter. You pay taxes. You're equally complicit.
And I'm still paying them late. I'm not complicit, brother.
Pay them late or not, you're still complicit.
I come from the legacy.
You are contributing to the fund.
Well, hold up. Let's back up.
You're contributing to the fund.
Was our ancestors complicit with Jim Crow? Was our ancestors complicit with us being segregated?
That's got nothing to do with what we talking about. Now you trying to talk about something different. You said our tax dollars are going to fund Israel. You pay into those tax dollars.
Fund Israel and war crimes.
Do you pay into those tax dollars?
Republicans.
Do you contribute to that? All right, then that makes you complicit.
No, sir, it does not. Again,
it does.
Your vote is your complicity.
It does.
That's why people is protesting the DNC right now, because their tax dollars are being used.
Well, even using that logic that your vote is what makes you complicit. You voting for a third party candidate allowed one candidate to win over the other. So that means you're also complicit.
No, you voting for whoever you voting for, they lost. You complicit too.
You could have just not voted. You could have not voted.
You could have just had a better candidate.
You could have not voted.
You could have had a candidate that people was behind. Why would I not vote? That's my right. I'm not going to give my vote to a platform that's pro.
I don't want to tell you. It makes you complicit.
That's pro World War III, Emanuel.
Makes you complicit.
You sound crazy. It's the same thing we voted Reagan.
Hold on. I thought we wasn't supposed to be. Didn't you just finish telling me we shouldn't be putting people down and calling them stupid and crazy and all that kind of stuff? You just said it. Come on now.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on.
I didn't mean to call you stupid. If I did, I'll take that back.
No, you called me crazy.
I said that sounds crazy.
Same difference.
I didn't call you crazy.
Same difference. Same difference.
Okay, to you. Please stop hollering at me. We're gonna get back to what we're saying.
I'm not hollering. I'm just talking.
We vote down ballot. That's the way we vote. We vote
who?
down ballot. So local elections are most important. ADOS, the political affiliation that I feel most best represents me, and I vote third party for a president. Has been since Al Gore lost due to the Chad. I've always voted third party because I do not support our tax dollars going to Israel, steadily bombing
children.
Then
stop paying them. Stop paying them. You can stop.
Then what do you want us to do? Stop eating? Are you saying starve myself?
No. Just stop paying your taxes.
That's how you get the inflation.
Just stop paying taxes.
You can't stop paying taxes or you're going to jail. That's
of course.
The law.
Ain't that a small price to pay to end genocide?
No, that's why you protest. That's why you protest your government. That's why you agitate from the outside. That's what I told you last time. That's why you got 231.
But you could stop paying them. You know that you could stop paying them.
You cannot stop paying taxes.
Of course you can.
You go to jail. You can
so what?
Late.
That's a small price to pay to end genocide.
Man,
come on. If you so hardcore about it, you that hardcore about it.
It's not being hardcore.
You that hardcore about it. Don't pay your taxes. Go to jail.
Ain't nobody going to jail.
Accept it, but know that this is your protest against genocide.
My protest is the vote, the Jill Stein, the third party. And like I just explained to you, that's why they are applauding Jesse Jackson for being that third, even though he was running on the Democratic side, he was still on the outside. When you talk about
he was not on the outside.
And when you talk about Martin Luther King Jr., they was on the outside.
They went to jail for what they believed in, though.
It was Fannie Lou Hamer.
They went to jail for what they believed in.
No, Fannie Lou Hamer got kidnapped and beat up.
You said Martin Luther King and Jesse Jackson, they went to jail for what they believed in.
Well, that's them. I'm not going to nobody's prison, honey.
So you don't believe deep enough?
No, I don't believe. It ain't belief. It's what I'm going to support, and I'm not in support of genocide.
You are.
I'm not in
you pay those taxes, and you know that's where that money go.
My money is in America. You're making a small and silly argument. That's why Twin said people be cussing.
See, now you calling me silly. I thought we wasn't supposed to call each other stupid and all of that kind of stuff.
Silly.
Come on. No, it's not. Actually, what I'm doing, Marquetta, is I'm pointing out the flaw in your logic.
See,
the flaw in your logic is that you're doing some
support
great
white
deed
people at
by
any cost, whether it be
voting for Jill
Republican or
Stein, and
Democrat,
somehow
is the
because
problem.
we vote for an establishment candidate that
You
we're
political
complicit in
lapdogs,
everything
and
that
you
happens.
sell out
That's not
Negroes,
reasonable.
Political lapdogs and sellout Negroes who keep telling
Now,
black people that
now,
we don't
now
have no
you calling
choice
people
but
sellouts.
Democratic
I thought
and
we wasn't
Republican.
supposed to do
You
all of that.
are.
What happened to the pious Marquetta?
Well,
Come on.
They went low last night. I watched the Obama's call names. I'm gonna do like them.
But you
Instead
did
of going,
no,
I'm
but you
gonna
can't
go ahead
start
and
the
go
call
low.
by saying that we shouldn't do it. Trying to
tried
sound
to get along
above the
with you.
fray, and now you dig deep
I'm
down
trying
in
to
the
keep
fray.
it above the fray. You coming after my money, and you know we live in America. You can't live in America without currency. The currency is taxed. That's why we got inflation.
So now you okay with us
So
calling
don't-
names?
No, don't call me no name. I ain't calling you no names. I said your argument is silly. Your argument is
You've
crazy.
called
The
you
same way
was just
saying
calling
lies
people
is
sell out
crazy.
Negroes.
You sell out Negroes on the plantation of
okay.
these politicians
All right.
who aren't giving us anything are exhausting because
All
you
right.
see it's not even working for us.
But you didn't get nothing
I
from
just
Jill
want to talk
Stein.
to you. I get from Jill Stein everything that I want out of a candidate. Somebody
Okay.
that's pro reparations,
All right.
somebody that continues to support a black vice president, just like we have right now, someone who is willing to stop funding Israel,
Uh-huh.
someone who is willing to make sure we get reparations on the ballot.
Yes.
And she is on the ballot every election, and that's who I vote for,
Okay.
win or lose.
All right.
And my hands is clean.
So you say.
My hands is clean.
Your hands
I ain't got to worry
you
about
are caught red-handed. Every time you pay them taxes, there's blood on your hands.
Man, bye. You sound crazy. That sound crazy. You
Sound
have
crazy.
to pay taxes. That's the
Sound
reason
crazy.
we get
No, you
fucked
don't.
up. Okay, I
Don't
gotta
pay
go.
'em.
I
Just
gotta
go to jail.
My daughter just said,
All right.
I don't go to jail. My
All right.
ancestors fought for me not to go to jail.
Uh-huh.
But again, Jill Stein, 2024.
All right. Sorry, I had to point out the a part of that argument was really weak. That if you're voting for somebody for president and they win, you're complicit in genocide. Come on. That's not reasonable. That's not reasonable at all. Blade.
What's up, Blair?
What's up? I'm not a player.
Good conversation. Good conversation. Hey, man, you're a good debater. She
I'm not a
said
debater.
she was an Adolf.
Yes.
That cult inside America that don't believe anybody black outside this country should get reparations. Don't you know who invented that?
No, who invented that?
Trump right-hand man, I think it's Bannon invented that to get the fighting from the so-called blacks in America to fight against blacks outside the country. So she's real bright.
I'm not sure that that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's true.
You say that, but I'm not sure that that's true.
It's true. You can believe me. Everything I say is true.
No, 100% not.
So everything you say is not true?
I'll just not necessarily. This is from Wikipedia, which could be false. This is not, but American descendants of slavery is a term referring to descendants of enslaved Africans in the area that would become the United States and the political movement of the same name. Both the term and the movement grew out of a hashtag ADOS created by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore.
But Wikipedia change every day. I can type in there.
Okay, so where is your
information?
information that Steve Bannon created the movement?
Steve Bannon told me.
Okay.
See, I can be just like you.
That's not like me. That is absolutely nothing like me.
Yeah, I could be just like you. Whatever I say is true. Whatever
I think
you
that's
say is
hilarious. Blake, can I say this real quick and then I'll let you finish? I have found that there are a number of people on the internet, who go on a lot of these different chat rooms and watch different shows, Lincoln's show, my show, Wyatt's show, and who do things. And I found that a number of them think they're doing what I do. But You don't understand or know what I do. First, why you trying to be like me? Don't try to be like me. Be like you.
I'm just
Now, I'm not
joking.
saying
That's
you,
fact.
you specifically, but this is a thing. Like somebody was being like really nasty and negative and, just insulting and all of that kind of stuff, just saying horrible stuff. And I'm like, that's horrible, a horrible thing for you to say. Now, I'm just trying to troll like you. And I'm like, that's not what I do. I don't know what y'all see or what y'all hear, but stop trying to be like me. You can't be like me. Just be you. I know some people look at me and they want to be like me so bad. But don't do it. Because you have to have the right heart, the right mindset, the right intellect and logic, the right everything to do it like I do it. Nobody does it like me. So just
You're
be
right.
you.
And I take it back. I was joking. I can never be you. And the Mike Bannon thing, I heard it was a rumor. And we can never be you because you make people hate you.
That's true.
So I can never be you. And people
That
hate
is true.
actually vehemently hate you.
That's true.
And I don't know why you think that's a great thing, but it's not.
I don't think it's good or bad. It just is what it is.
So you're right. We can never be you because you got people hating you for real,
Oh.
and you think it's funny.
Yeah, I do.
And I think some of those, man, you should amend because people are gonna go to their grave hating you.
That's not my fault. I don't care if you go to your grave hating me. That's on you.
Well, some of it is your fault. You know
No,
it.
no, it's not.
Hey, man, I thought Twin was gonna say it, but he said this morning that you was coming out.
Okay.
Is that true?
Define coming out.
He said you was coming out the closet.
Are you asking, am I gay?
That's what Twin said.
Oh, I'm not gay.
Okay, because that's another lie that Twin has said, and he should tomorrow when he calls you, he need to apologize for saying that. Because that's
I'm pretty sure he was joking. There's a few different jokes, like
but I don't.
Key
I don't
said
think people.
something about
don't
me
think
wearing a nightgown, eating ginger snaps, and it was kind of funny, and there was a post put up about it. Don't take everything so serious.
No, I'm not taking it serious. I don't think people should play like that. But I know that one guy did call in and said you was singing that Mary J. Blige song.
Exactly.
I
Somebody
understand
did
that.
call in and say that, which is not true, by the way.
Okay, I didn't understand that. But okay then, man. Yeah, we can't be like you because you got people hating you.
I'm comfortable with that.
That don't sound. That don't sound like you said. That don't sound like logic to me.
I'm comfortable
but,
with it.
But if you feel comfortable with that, that's cool, man. But maybe we need to work on that. You stop having people hating you so much.
Nah, I'm all right with it.
You a good dude. You a good dude, man.
Let them hate me. I'm cool with it.
Okay then, man.
All right.
They put it like this. I don't hate you, man. You're a good dude.
That's good.
I
to
know what you're doing, but they don't. They can't comprehend and understand what you're doing. But I know what you're doing.
Well, maybe you can tell me what I'm doing. I've been asking this for years. What am I doing?
It's hard to explain.
Oh,
Next time I see you, I'll tell you.
all right.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know what that call was. Oh, he's telling the truth. There are people who hate me. He is. And I'm comfortable with it. I would be slightly uncomfortable with it if I did something wrong. And that made people hate me. I'm like, oh, I treated him bad and he hates me. Ooh, I would feel uncomfortable about that. But if you hate me because I said something true, that's your problem. If you hate me because you made up a statistic and I pointed out that you made up a statistic, that's your problem. If you hate me because I try to use logic and reason and that frustrates you, that's your problem. So I'm comfortable with that. Y'all, it's 5:45. I got to get out of here. I see Nate called a few times. Sorry when you called, somebody else was on. But I got some stuff I had to do. I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. Hold on, let me say this before I go. I see Marquetta's texting stuff in about tax dollars, supporting different things and this and that. Marquetta, my point is not that I truly believe you have blood on your hands. I don't. Just like I don't believe anybody who voted for Biden has blood on their hands. I don't believe somebody who voted for Trump has blood on their hands. I believe you vote for what you think is the best. And those people, if there's blood on somebody's hands, it would be theirs. And of course, I'm just pointing out the flaw in your logic that your vote puts blood on your hands. No more than paying taxes puts blood on your hands. That doesn't sound reasonable or logical to me. That's not the way it works. And the thing about what are you getting from Jill Stein? And again, I hear this from Republicans trying to shame Democrats, black Democrats, for voting Democratic. You ain't getting nothing for your vote. And then when you ask them, well, what did the Republican Party do? Well, why do that matter? It's like, no, what are you getting for your vote? I don't know what y'all think is gonna happen. I don't know the way that y'all believe that government works. Like if you believe Joe Biden can just write a law and change something, that's not the way it goes. You remember Schoolhouse Rock? I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And they taught us the way that laws are made. Presidents don't just, it's a law. That's not the way it works. And I'm like, I think a few times today, I've heard people say things about government that makes me believe that maybe they don't understand how government here works. And some of that stuff saddens me. I know some of it is an attempt to create a situation where you can say somebody's bad and why don't they just do this for the weak-minded people in the audience. And yeah, he could just do a law, but he don't want to do it. That's why he ain't just do a law. Because you understand, you know that I know that that's not how laws work. I know that you know that that's not how laws work. But there might be somebody listening who don't know. And then you can kind of trick them with that. I'm hip to that trick. I'm hip that people do that. You keep repeating it, and then you got that, I call them weak-minded. You can call them whatever you want to call them. Who gonna parrot what you said. And they're gonna believe it. And no matter how many times somebody who know the way that laws become laws tell them that that's not how laws become laws because they heard it from somebody who sound intelligent, they gonna say, "What, you don't know what you talking about, goofy. That's not the way that works. See, you just being extra." Because they don't understand it, but they heard it from somebody who sounds smart. And that's the attempt. Let me get that person, and I can sway them. So I call it out as I see it. I don't catch all of it. But as I see it, I try to call it out because I don't think that it's fair to the kind of weaker-minded people who are not aware of all of this stuff. It's not fair to them. You lead them down a terrible path, and then they willing to die on their sword for some nonsense that you knew wasn't true. So that's why I was pushing back the way that I was. Nate.
Hey, E, man, what's happening?
Hey, what's up?
All right. I apologize to you and to everybody watching and listening because I was driving while Marquetta Denise was on the phone, and so I could not take adequate notes, and I don't have my computer here to fact check all that crap that she was saying. But I'll give it a shot from the few that I did remember. and that I do have notes on. Now, number one, would you go a little far? I hate to ask you to do this. Would you explain to people, let's say Jill Stein was to win. She represents the Green Party. Do you know offhand how many members of the Green Party are in the Senate?
To my knowledge, none.
Okay, how about the House of Representatives?
To my
Any
knowledge,
Green Party?
to my knowledge, we have 0 representatives from the Green Party.
So, if Jill Stein was president today, let's say somehow she got appointed president today, and the House is controlled by Republicans, the Senate, they have I believe a 1-vote majority in the Senate. Would Jill Stein be able to get reparations passed through Congress?
Apparently, she could just write a law, and that's of course she wouldn't. No, she wouldn't.
Of course. Now, so when you say black people ain't getting enough for their vote by voting for Democrats, even though we are most people who say vote for the Democratic president also are very careful to say we need a Democratic Senate and a Democratic House if we ever to get anything done. Why don't people like Marquetta Denise make it clear that Jill Stein couldn't even get reparations done unless she had a changeover and 430-something Green Party members got elected to Congress? It's almost like she's trying to deliberately miseducate you and the people who are listening to this show.
It is almost like that, yes.
How about transgender? While we were looking, even though I don't have a computer, I do have this handy-dandy little iPhone. And so I went to look up what is Jill Stein's position on transgenders. And it'll be hard for me to do this and talk to you. But the bottom line is Jill Stein is for transgender people. In fact, they asked Jill Stein, and it's up on their website, so the website and the campaign is lying. If this is not true, I'm not making it up. They asked Jill Stein, well, what about people under 18, juveniles, having, hold on, I'm going to put you on. I know y'all say this message out up because I don't want to misquote the lady. Should people under the age of 18 years old be able to receive gender transition treatments? And Jill Stein's answer is yes. So, take the speaker off. So, that's a big thing to some of these people. Twin, and I've heard radicalized Ron talking about they want to cut little boys' penises off, and he says this is the Democrats trying to do this. Do you think black people support Jill Stein's position on gender-affirming transitions or whatever it is I just read to you?
I can't say that they are. I don't think that I know any black people who support. Well, I might know one or two, but most black people that I know in that area are what we would be considered conservatives.
Well, didn't Marquetta Denise bring up the transgenders? Wasn't she like railing at some point during her call about the transgenders and the Democrats and the transgenders? Well, maybe refresh my memory, because I was in and out of the car and I was driving and I wasn't able to pay close attention. What was her beef about Democrats and the transgenders?
Well, I can't really say. I don't remember exactly. It was a long call, but I think that at some point in the call she did kind of say that she was against transgenders, and or maybe not against transgenders, but she said some things that might lead one to believe that she was not for like people receiving I'm gonna say special rights for or gender reaffirming care or even just the attention that transgenders are getting. She didn't seem to be in favor of people giving them that attention.
But you're fine for
Well, she didn't win.
them. Okay. On Israel, these people like radicalized Ron, they keep talking about, well, y'all giving money to the American government is giving money to Israel. Let me ask you, because I know you study political science and you read these newspapers and websites and watch this stuff on TV. Aren't the Republicans in favor of giving even more money to Israel?
Last time I saw Donald Trump giving a speech, and he was saying that the Democrats are weak on their support for Israel. As a matter of fact, a lot of Republicans are calling Democrats anti-Semitic because they didn't select Shapiro as the vice president and because they're not doing enough to support Israel, which would lead me to believe that they want to see more money, more resources go to Israel. Yes.
Now, on abortion. So, I believe the way that the system works is Congress passes legislation. The president is the executive. He enforces the legislation. And the Supreme Court can say that something is constitutional or is not constitutional. So in 1973, the Supreme Court, in a very famous decision called Roe versus Wade, said women have a constitutional right to have an abortion. It's tucked into the right to privacy. And so Congress never gave women across America a right to have an abortion. The Supreme Court did that. And then this recent Supreme Court came back and said, no, that Supreme Court was wrong, and these 50 years of us affirming that Roe versus Wade decision was wrong. We got it all the way wrong, and so we say that the Constitution does not give women a federal right to have an abortion. Or do you agree with my analysis of history and this Roe versus Wade decision?
So far, yes.
Now, that means that Congress can come in and give them a legislative right to have national protections over abortion, right? And if the president signs it, then they don't have a federal right to an abortion that comes from the Constitution as determined by the Supreme Court, but they have a federal right to an abortion that's given to them by Congress and signed by the president. Does that sound like it? That's right.
Wait, say that one more time.
So Congress can pass a law that says we women have a right to have an abortion that would be enforced during the first trimester, or really whatever they said, and that if the president signs it, then that would be federal law.
Yes.
So, again, the Republicans have made it real clear that they don't support that. In fact, I saw Donald Trump on TV just like 2 or 3 days ago telling CBS News, I don't think the federal government has anything to do with it. I think people are happy with the states deciding one by one whether a woman has a right to an abortion or not. And yet J.D. Vance is out there saying, if we get in, we're going to do what we've been saying all these other years, which is we're going to have Congress say, do a federal ban that says you can't have an abortion anywhere in America after a certain number of weeks. It might be 6 weeks, it might be 12 weeks, it might be 15 weeks, but clearly the Republicans understand that the Congress, if they win, and if they win control of Congress, that they can put a national ban on abortion. Do I have that right, as far as you know?
As far as I know, I've heard Vance say something along those lines, and I've heard Trump say that same thing. Yes.
Now, have you heard of the Comstock Act?
What's the Comstock Act?
Which is it's a law passed by Congress, and the Republicans have said, many Republicans, including Senator Lindsey Graham, have said the Comstock Act is on the books, and it allows us to say you cannot get birth control pills delivered through the mail. It gives us the right to say you cannot have abortion pills, because I don't know if you know this, but I've heard that most abortions ain't where you go into Planned Parenthood no more. It's you say, oh my God, I'm pregnant. They mail you some pills. You take a couple of pills spaced out over a couple of days, and bada bing, you had the medical abortion.
I have heard of that. I was not aware of the Comstock Act, but yes, I am aware of that.
So I think it's important, and I've been a little bothered that I haven't heard this fleshed out enough at the Democratic convention. They're not just talking about putting a federal ban on abortion. They're talking about stopping birth control. They're talking about stopping abortion pills through the mail. They're talking about making it illegal for, if you live in a anti-abortion state, for you to cross state lines, assuming you got the money and the funds to do that, to make it illegal for you to cross state lines and have an abortion. They're talking about, like, remember Alabama, we love Alabama, but remember Alabama had to come back and change the law because their law made in vitro fertilization against the law. So it's not just abortion, it's all these other reproductive issues associated with if Trump gets in, or rather Harris gets in, and whether or not the Democrats control Congress or the Republicans control Congress. So I don't understand why somebody who calls in here tries to sound real educated. And it was funny how she called in so calm. I was almost thinking, man, she needs to raise her voice. She called in with all them little fake questions, and by the end of the call, you had her riled up. She was hollering and screaming. I had to turn the volume on my phone down because she was being so loud. But how could somebody who claims that they're for freedom and for individual liberty and for women's rights ever cast a vote that could result in Donald Trump getting up there and the Republicans having control over her body and what she can do with it? It don't make no sense to me.
All right.
Now, I noticed that they've gone from Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden did not sign off on black farmers getting $5 billion. At first, they just flat out denied it. We kept pushing the issue. All over the country, I'm hearing these people saying, well, it was just smoke and mirrors. It was just it wasn't real. It was, but to go back to Jill Stein, them actually authorizing $5 billion to black farmers wasn't real, but Jill Stein making a promise that she's going to give black people reparations for slavery. You want us to believe that that is real. Help me. Which one is more far-fetched? Which one is blowing smoke up your behind and asking you to believe it? I say I roll with the people who actually signed off on giving the black farmers $5 billion and who signed off on giving $16 billion to HBCUs. I side with them. Black people did get something. And now they want to say, well, that ain't nothing because you ain't went to no HBCU. I love when you was able to answer her Yeah, matter of fact, I did go to a HBCU. And not only did you go, our sister went to a HBCU. Your niece, my daughter, graduated from HBCU. So we love HBCU. And so for you to say that ain't nothing, I disagree. I think it is something.
My daughter went to an
The bottom-
HBCU as well.
I'm sorry, that's right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. So don't try to downplay what they did for black people just because it undercuts your argument they ain't did nothing for black people. No, we are black people. We are somebody, as Jesse Jackson used to say back in the 70s. And that meant something to my daughter, to my child, to the black community, to all them black students down there who went to school with her and who went to school with your daughter. So I mean, y'all full of it. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff that they did. Now, I noticed that the Black Lion is in the chat. And he thinks he had something really clever the other day. And since he's in the chat, and he don't call you no more, I noticed, unless I just been missing those days. He said, you know, the people in, he said the people over there in Ukraine, they done got billions of dollars, way more than the black farmers and the black college students combined. And the people over there in Israel, they done got billions of American dollars, and way more than the black college students and the black farmers combined. And they didn't have to vote for nothing. So why should we have to vote? Well, here's my response to that. And it goes a little bit to Twin, too. Kamala Harris now says she wants to expand that child tax credit. So I believe the number was $6,000 she wanted to give to anybody who have a baby. Now, back in the day, man, I'm old enough to remember when the Republicans used to come flat out and say, we ain't for giving money to black people who have kids because that only incentivizes them having children out of wedlock.
They did used to say that.
They used to say that. So now that Kamala Harris is saying that she wants to do this, and we all know that Twin has a whole bunch of kids, and he might have some more, I say, guess what? Black Lion, we know Black Lion has some kids. I almost lost my train of thought, but I got it back that fast. Black Lion, you ain't had to vote, but you've sucked up a whole bunch of money from the federal government and the state government. And so, you know, it's a thing that the way we were raised is, I hear these people talking about, at least they used a couple of years ago, they used to talk about the makers and the takers. And the way we were raised is you don't want to be ashamed if you have to take some help along the way. But you don't want to be no freeloader. You don't want to be no leech. You don't want to be this person in life who always got the hand out, always want to take, and never give. The way I look at it is, those people in Ukraine can't vote in American elections. Those people over there in Israel can't vote in American elections. But for all the stuff that you get, we know that Twin, him and his baby mamas, 5 different baby mamas, they done got Medicaid, they done got WIC, they done got all kind of federal aid. I don't know about Black Lion, but I know he one time called the radio and said he has never paid tax, even though we know that he has worked. And so I'm guessing that he has gotten some of those federal benefits. So my thing is, if you're going to take, the least you could do is give a vote to help people in your situation get some of that money. Because if we go with the Republicans, they're for less money for the poor, less money for people who having all these kids out of wedlock like Twins. And so you ought to at least vote for the people who going to do the best by you and by your people, instead of being selfish, saying, I'm going to get it anyway, And I don't care about the people who come behind me, whether or not they get it or not. I think that's all the things I had on my list. So thanks for the time. Next time I'll do a better job so I can pinpoint and go point by point and rebut everything that old, she said we shouldn't call no names, but everything that caller before me or two calls before me had to say. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate the call. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. It's been a minute. I will be watching the Democratic convention tonight. Bill Clinton speaking tonight, right? Bill Clinton's an interesting character. He's an interesting character. We'll see how he goes. How old is Bill Clinton, by the way? How old is Bill Clinton? I'm losing my voice. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. Bill Clinton, 78. Interesting. All right, but I'll be checking it out. We'll see what happens. I'm still excited. The pep rally is working. Again, she'll get a bump, probably. She'll get a bump in the polls. And we'll see how it goes. But look, whether you're for Kamala, whether you're for Trump, I think this race is going to be so close. I don't care what the polls say. I think this race is going to be super close. So, and twin, I'm not telling you got to vote. Because, again, I believe in your right to not vote. Black Lion as well. I believe in your right to not vote. If you don't want to vote, you got a right to not vote. I believe in Marquetta's right to vote for, a third-party candidate or, a different candidate. I believe all of that stuff. I don't genuinely believe you got blood on your hands. I don't believe I got blood on my hands either. But pay attention. And I want you to pay attention. I want you to pay. Twin says, you go to hell, you confused ass ninja. I'm supporting you, bro. I'm supporting you. I mean, at one point, you said you didn't want to vote, and so we agreed you wouldn't vote. Now, I wasn't agreeing that you wouldn't vote because I don't want you to vote. I was agreeing that you wouldn't vote because you said you didn't want to vote, and I really just wanted to be there to support you. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted you to even be able to use that as an excuse. Oh, yo, twin, you didn't vote. And you could have been like, look, I didn't vote because I gave my word to Emanuel that I wouldn't vote. And I'm a man of my word. So, whatever. And, put it on me. Because, people hate me anyway. So you could have put it on me and just, hey, I gave my word. He convinced me to not vote. So I gave my word that I wouldn't vote, and that's why I didn't vote. Then you might win Caller of the Year again. I was kind of picking with you about the Caller of the Year thing. But I gotta be all of that, bro. Again, you have a right to not vote if you don't want to vote. Hold on, I thought I saw Black Lion. Black Lion says, in my good conscience, I can't vote for either of those Caucasians, whether Anglo or Hindu. And if you don't want to vote for them, don't vote for them. I don't think that makes you a bad human or even a bad American, even though you probably would say, I'm not an American. I don't want to be classified as an American. But either way, I don't judge you because you don't vote. I would like you to vote. And I would like you to vote the way that I want you to vote. But that's just a little desire. But here's the only thing not the only thing. Here's what I would implore you to think about when you're thinking about vote. Forget all of this, and even forget about my Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. I truly believe that. So I could not vote for that guy. Under no circumstances would I vote for him. But even sit that aside. If I had to look at it, right, and I had to say, okay, let's take whatever issues are important to me and weigh them. If they both, like, oh, I don't think America should be supporting Israel. They both support Israel. Throw that out, right? You can't use that. You can't use that if they both support something that you're not in support of. They both support it. Throw that out. Well, but they the ones in there now. But the ones coming in say they gonna support it even harder. Throw that out. You gotta look at the issues that are important to you. See the differences between the two, because that's important. The differences between the two. It's the stuff they all line up on. Push that to the side. Democrats ain't doing nothing for black people. I don't agree with that, but let's say that's true. Republicans ain't doing nothing for black people. Then push that to the side. Well, y'all voting people ain't doing nothing for y'all. If you vote for him, he ain't gonna do nothing for you. He pretty much said so. Push it to the side and look at the differences, and then you determine which best aligns with whatever interest is the most important to you. I know some people, money. Life, the election, good and bad, evil, it's all about money. I don't care what you do. Make money, get rich, or die trying. If you die trying to get rich, you was a good person. If you die poor and you wasn't trying to get rich, you're a horrible person. Poor people are bad. Rich people are good. If that's how you feel, wallet. Vote your wallet. If you look at issues, and you're like, this is the most important issue to me, where do they line up on this issue? And this side is, you know what I'm saying? You can do what's the thing they make the little charts with pros and cons? Black Lion say, so you pushing to the side anything being done for black people? Well, no, because I believe Democrats are actually doing stuff for black people. But if I didn't, neither are Republicans. So if you got two people and ain't nobody doing nothing for black people, you gonna vote. Not you, me. I'm gonna vote. And if I'm looking at two people and nobody doing nothing for black people, that can't be a decider for me. Because ain't neither one of them doing nothing for black people. So I got to decide based on something else. I can't, okay, they ain't doing nothing for black people. They ain't doing nothing for black people. But they ain't doing nothing for black people, so I'm voting for them. That's not reasonable or logical. Neither one of them doing it, then that's not an issue that divides the two. Brent.
So apparently all hearts and minds are not clear. I was at a meeting, 45 minutes, I come back, look at my phone, expect it to be turned off, and you still talking.
I'm about to finish. I'm wrapping it up.
All right. So yeah, just tell the organist, don't start no mess. And get the crowd riled up again. But yeah, just quickly, because I got a bunch of things there. I'm gonna hit on one thing. It's time for the wrestling report. This is DNC Convention Edition.
Okay.
Did you see Michelle Obama?
I saw Michelle Obama.
Did you see Michelle Obama's ponytail?
I was so mad at that ponytail.
It looks like she took one of Bianca Belair's ponytails from 5 years ago.
I was so mad at that ponytail. I got nothing against Michelle Obama, but I did not like that ponytail.
Yeah, it was looking a little tattered. And I'm sure there's some ladies on the south side that really could have hooked her up.
Well, I don't know. Don't hook her up. Style your natural hair. I have issues with ponytails and fake hair and all of that kind of stuff. You know, if you need it, you need it. If you don't need it, you don't need it. But I don't care for it. But it doesn't stop me from supporting Michelle Obama. I hope, wish the best for her in her life and all of that kind of stuff. But I don't like it.
Look, she could take that ponytail and pop Melania in her face, and Melania can't do nothing with all that plastic surgery. She only a couple of tears could possibly fall out, but that's it. She can't give no facial expressions.
Well, I hope she doesn't do that.
Yeah, but one last quick thing. One thing that Michelle Obama said. What did she say? The minute something goes wrong, the minute a lie takes hold, we cannot start wringing our hands. You know, so pretty much telling folks, stop everything. Every time something little thing happens, don't start woe is me, or do the classic Lincoln when he with the support of whether it's the Reds or it's the Bengals, something goes wrong and he's like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna make it. I'm gonna sell. I ain't gonna renew my tickets no more, which we know he's still gonna renew those tickets because I suspect he's getting a hell of a deal with this club level seat.
Look, again, that man was a part of the whole thing, bringing that whole bad deal with the county. There's no part of me that does not believe that he didn't get a Bob Bettinghouse type deal, but right. I think the Lincoln Ware deal is probably pretty nice.
Yeah, and that's why I want to come there just to see how many places I can go to and get the Lincoln Ware discount. Can I go to Jeff Wilder still? And what was the name?
There is no Lincoln Ware discount, except for Lincoln Ware, maybe for somebody in his family. Lincoln used to be like, oh, go tell him that I told you to come. I remember I bought a car from Jeff Wilder when he had that whole account, and I went down like, yeah, Lincoln Ware's there, and Gene was like, okay, so now what we talking about? Like, that don't mean nothing. When he used to do the thing up at the chicken gas station, when you go in there and tell him Lincoln Ware sent you. I went in like, yeah, Lincoln Ware sent me. Dude was like, okay, what you want for chicken? You know what I'm saying? Give me your order. Like, that Lincoln Ware discount is nothing. It's non-existent.
Now you've met Gene Galvin?
Yes.
Does Gene Galvin look like he sounds?
Hold on. Are you saying Gene Galvin, or are you talking about Gene from Jeff Wilder?
Oh, Gene from Jeff Wilder.
I don't remember. What was Gene's last name from Gene Strauss? Now, Gene Strauss is a gigantic dude. Like, really? He sound like a little, you know what I'm saying? He is a big, he got to be 6'6", 6'7", at least 230, 240. No.
He got to add some bass to his voice.
He looks nothing like he sounds.
Oh, man. But all right. But, that's all I got. If you're on tomorrow, Friday, I'll call in with the rest of my items here. But you take it easy. I'm about to sit in traffic.
All right. All right, y'all. I got to get out of here. Yeah, now Gene Strauss is a big dude. Like, he's a big dude. And he don't sound nothing like it, but he is a big dude. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Hope everybody has an amazing evening. I think that's about it. As always, if you're out of... Hold on, can I just say one last thing? This weather is nice. I'm loving this weather. If it just stayed like this throughout the winter, and then, it could get back hot during the summer. But if this was winter temperature, this would be the perfect place to live. Bugs would be huge, but this would be the perfect place to live. That's it. I'm really enjoying this weather. Y'all get out, enjoy this weather. as you are out and about enjoying this weather, as always, be the reason that someone smiles. Till next time. I'm out, y'all. Peace.